Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Citibank BIAC Inter-University International Arbitration Contest 2021, organized by Bangladesh International Arbitration Center BIAC and supported by Citibank Limited. Bonik Barta is the media partner of this event, and this program is being live streamed in BIAC and Bonik Barta's online Facebook page. My name is Mahbuba Rahman Runa. I'm the General Manager of BIAC and will be your host for this event. Dear all, BIAC is the first and only licensed and registered alternative dispute resolution institution, facilitating resolution of domestic and international commercial disputes through arbitration and mediation in Bangladesh. BIAC started its operation since April 2011. BIAC has developed all the facilities required for systematic and comfortable arbitration and mediation proceedings. BIAC has its own arbitration and mediation rules. Apart from facilitating arbitration and mediation, BIAC also provides training courses on ADR, especially arbitration, mediation, and negotiation to develop a pool of human resource in this field. Since inception, BIAC has been working hard to create awareness about ADR methods by conducting several outreach programs, seminars, workshops, dialogues, and webinars. In 2020, BIAC added a new initiative to its activities, which is arbitration contest for university-level students. Last year, we organized the first ever arbitration contest in the history of Bangladesh, which was completely conducted under digital platform due to COVID-19 with an aim of organizing this contest in the upcoming years. Keeping in mind, this year we arranged a more broad-based international contest where universities from SAARC region are participating along with leading public and private universities from Bangladesh. This year, 7 leading universities from Bangladesh and SAARC countries are taking part in this contest, which are last year's champion, University of Dhaka, Bangladesh, Damodaram Sanjeevaya National Law University, India, London College of Legal Studies, LCLS South, Bangladesh, Bhuiya Academy, Bangladesh, Lahore University of Management Sciences, Pakistan, Chittagong University, Bangladesh, and Independent University, Bangladesh. In each round, every team will consist of 4 to 6 students from each university. Each team will be comprised of students with the roles of coordinator, counsels, and witnesses for their respective sides. 60 minutes have been allocated for each team to present their cases. First session of this contest was held on last Saturday, 6th November 2021, where London College of Legal Studies South won the session against Damodaram Sanjeevaya National Law University, India. Today, for the second session, we have team of Bhuiya Academy, Bangladesh, who was the runner-up of BIAC Inter-University Arbitration Contest 2020, competing against Lahore University of Management and Sciences. In this session, Bhuiya Academy Bangladesh is acting as the claimant, where Lahore University of Management and Sciences is acting as the respondent. Both teams already submitted their submissions to the chairman of the session and other parties. Now, we will begin with welcoming remarks from the director of BIAC. I'd like to invite Mr. M.A. Akmal Hossain Azad, who has been with BIAC since September 2017 as director. Mr. Akmal Hossain Azad is a former career bureaucrat and was Additional Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Government of Bangladesh. He also worked for the civil judiciary for a while before joining administration. Mr. Azad studied law and public administration in the University of Dhaka and the University of Manchester, UK. He was trained on local level governance in India and on legislative drafting in Canada. Over to you, sir. Akmal sir, please.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you. Good morning. Mr. Chairman of this session, Dr. Deepak Jindal, Advocate, Punjab and Haryana High Court, Chandigarh, and member of Governing Council of ICADR. We mourn the sudden passing of our good friend, Mr. Jailen Murthy, on Thursday, who was supposed to take this session of these two parties. Our condolences to his family through Dr. Jindal and to ICADR. This is the second session of the first round between Bhuiya Academy Bangladesh and School of Law, Lahore University of Management Sciences, Pakistan. Distinguished participants, including team leader of Bhuiya Academy, Ms. Sumaya Binti Yusuf, and the team leader of the Lahore University of Management Sciences, I've forgotten her name. Let us begin with the session. I will request the chairman to carry forward the session after my brief few words about BIAC beyond what my GM has already said. Although COVID-19 has frustrated many of its important activities, BIAC hosted a number of webinars jointly with its local and regional partners. These events gave us international exposure, and we had the opportunity to highlight our endeavors towards making Bangladesh a regional hub of ADR practices. Due to the COVID-19 catastrophe, students were home quarantined with relatively less pressure of studies, which was a great time to enrich students' knowledge and to add a certificate to their resume as to prepare them for professional advancement. BIAC tried to ensure equitable learning opportunities for all students while prioritizing their health and well-being through online learning. To make this home quarantine productive, BIAC organized the first online learning session in June 2020 for students. BIAC has reacted to the current crisis of COVID-19 and the future new norms for the handling of dispute resolution by quickly converting cases originally slated to be in person to their virtual, cost-effective, efficient system that allows cases to be arbitrated and mediated through the use of video technology. BIAC invited top lineup of expert speakers from the country and abroad in a number of webinars who address the key issues on ADR of different sectors, particularly the adverse effect of COVID-19 on many jurisdictions, including Bangladesh. BIAC has trained officers from the Ministry of Law. For the first time, BIAC organized a day-long training for 24 senior secretaries of the Legislative and Parliamentary Affairs Division under the Ministry of Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs, who are actively involved in vetting laws from all ministries and divisions. BIAC has been training judicial officers at the Judicial Administration Training Institute, the National Training Institute for the judges. We have been working with the Ministry of Commerce and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs regarding home country agreement to be signed with the PCA, The Hague. We have worked with the Bangladesh Bank Committee for framing a guideline to banks to use ADR to settle non-performing loans. We have worked also on the proposed Arbitration Amendment Act 2018 with the Apex Advisory Body Law Commission Bangladesh. We also held consultation sessions with university faculties, lawyers, community, and briefed students on their campuses. We advised the University Grants Commission to add ADR in the syllabus of undergrad and postgrad students of law. We also advised Bangladesh Bar Council to include ADR in the syllabus of legal practitioners training programs to upscale their professionalism. With these few words, I thank you all for joining us, and I wish this session a grand success. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your nice words. May I now introduce our today's chairman of the session. We are extremely honored to have with us Dr. Deepak Jindal, who is an advocate of the Punjab and Haryana High Court, India. He is a member of the Governing Council of International Center for Alternative Dispute Resolution, ICADR, and a guest faculty of the Department of Laws, Punjab University, Chandigarh. Dr. Jindal is a head trainer of the ICADR. He also served as Deputy Advocate General of Haryana State. Now it is time to start the conference, and I would like to hand over the chairman of the session to start and run the contest. Best of luck to both the teams. Sir, please. Dr. Deepak, sir, please.
Now I have to take over?
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right, all right. It's been a great pleasure to be here with BIAC in this competition, and this first round of Citibank BIAC University International Arbitration Contest 2021. And as I've heard from Mr. Azad, the activities done by BIAC in Bangladesh as well as international activities, and it is quite appreciative of BIAC to be continuously, kind of educating and also organizing these kind of international and national competitions. And ICADR has been organizing conferences and competitions with BIAC, and it's been quite successful, all these events, and we look forward for more this kind of events physically, virtually, and if possibly very, very soon physically also. Now I ask the claimant team to start, to give their introduction.
Good morning to the chairman of the tribunal and all respected panel members. My name is Sumaya Binti Yusuf. Today I'll be speaking on behalf of RARE Limited. May I have your permission to proceed with my submission, Honorable Tribunal?
Definitely. Please proceed.
Much obliged. Before proceeding with the submission, the claimant humbly represents the members of the team. The team consists of 6 members. Sumaya Binti Yusuf will be doing the opening statement. Nusrat Jahan Onkon and Noore Tahsin Arwa will be doing the examination in chief. Ishtiaq bin Farooq and Baina Ifa will be doing the cross-examination, and Orkut Hassim will be concluding the submission with the closing statement. We have 3 witnesses, Noore Tahsin as Ben Sharp, Ishtiaq bin Farooq as Theo Rain, and Baina Ifa as William Alam. With that, the claimant humbly submits that the Honorable Arbitration Tribunal has the jurisdiction to hear this dispute. It is clearly stated in the agreement in Article 20, which says that all the disputes arising out of or in connection with the present contract shall be finally settled under the rules of arbitration 2019. Moreover, Rule 21 of the BIAC Arbitration Rules 2019 also empowers the arbitration tribunal to rule on its own jurisdiction, including any objection with respect to the existence or validity of the arbitration agreement. So this tribunal clearly has the jurisdiction to hear the dispute between today's claimant and respondent. Now let's proceed with the factual background. The claimant humbly submits that our respondent company, Western Limited and RARE Limited, entered into a contract on 15 September 2015 for the delivery of 100 metric tons. As per the Article 3, it was specified that the coal ton should contain 30 to 40% of tantalum pentoxide. Also, Article 2 of the agreement clarifies that the notice of transportation shall be issued no later than 15th November 2015. So we received the first installment notice on 23rd October and paid the money on 4th November 2015. On 27th November, we received our provided goods, which were not of the quality that had been promised. Moving forward, the claimant on the submission will cover the following topics, that is, breach of contract, guarantee, refusal of contract, and presumption. Honorable Tribunal, the claimant humbly submits the point regarding Section 55 of the Bangladeshi Contract Act 1872, which states that when a party to a contract promises to do a certain thing at a specified time and fails, the contract becomes voidable unless the intention of the parties was that time should be the essence of the contract. My point is that Article 2 of the Colton Purchase Contract states that the notice of transportation will be issued no later than 15th November 2015, which was specified for both the notices. However, the notice of second installment was given after 1st December 2015. Well, I will highlight what the respondent company mentioned in its written submission. They have referred that Article 2 states only about the first notice, and if both notices of transportation to be delivered before 15th November, it would have explicitly used the plural term notices of transportation. However, the claimant humbly submits that if the contract had stated about the first notice, then it would have mentioned specifically about the first notice. As it was not mentioned, hence it was clear that both the notices shall be delivered by 15th November, and the responding company is trying hard to deny the fact. Moreover, keeping aside the essence of time, I would like to mention the fact that on 1st December 2015, we had sent them the notice of lack of conformity of the goods, as the goods were not up to the mark according to our reports. But the respondent company has rejected our allegations and issued the second notice. Moving forward with that, Honorable Tribunal, as we are aware of the fact that if one party fails to fulfill the obligation made in contract or does not perform intentionally or does not perform in accordance with the terms made in the agreement, is said to be breach of contract. The claimant submits that in the current instance, the respondent miserably failed to comply with Article 3 of the said contract, which led them to breach the contract fundamentally. The claimant humbly submits that in the lack of conformity notice, we have mentioned the percentage very clearly. Honorable Tribunal, apart from that, the claimant humbly submits that Article 25 of Contract for International Sale of Goods states that a breach of contract is committed if it results to deprive the other party of what he is entitled to expect under the contract. So our company has expected a good quality of goods to be delivered as specified, but they clearly breached the contract, and I am classifying this as a fundamental breach by the respondent in relation to the quantity of Colton, and it has deprived the claimant of what they were entitled to expect under the contract. Additionally, Honorable Chair, the claimant further refer you to para B of Article 35 of International Sale of Goods Act, which clearly states that the goods do not conform with the contract unless they are fit for the particular purpose. And in the present case, the respondent didn't comply with the specific purpose of the claimant in terms of Colton's quality, where in the contract, the claimant expressly informed the general sales manager of respondent regarding the particular purpose of imposing that specific quality requirements in Article 3 of the contract. And such lack of conformity of goods can constitute a breach of contract according to Section 46 of CISG. Furthermore, the claimant submits a significant argument regarding the refusal of contract. So, as per Section 39 of Bangladesh Contract Act 1872, when a party to a contract has refused to perform, the promisee may put an end to the contract unless he has signified by words or conduct in its continuance. Here, International Limited wrote an email regarding that the product did not meet the quality specifications and that the contract had been avoided. And Rare Limited requested that the respondent company reimburse the first payment and take back the rejected items. But the charges were denied and the payment for the second installment was demanded. Now, my point is, why will we continue to work with them if the goods they deliver are not approved by our customers, as it was not according to the specification of the contract? They have claimed that the claimant company has breached the contract by not paying the payment, regardless of their own responsibility. However, the respondent company has mentioned in para 46 of the respondent submission that we haven't made any express intention for the fulfillment of the contract with Alpha and Delta Limited, and also they are not the party of the contract, hence their evidence is not relevant to them. So on that point, claimant humbly submits that as they were aware of the fact that we are the broker of Rare Limited, so it is very much obvious that we have nothing to do with the Colton. We are just the medium of supplier. The claimant precisely have no idea why our learned respondent are claiming that, whereas we have sent them the deed of agreement in our exhibits about the contract which we had with the other two clients. However, moving to the next point, Rule 12 of the BIAC Arbitration Rules 2019 signifies that the claimant reserves the right to raise any and all further claims arising in connection with the disputed matters described in this arbitration, for arbitration or otherwise arising between the parties. In respect to that, the claimant would humbly request the arbitration tribunal that a lab report was made which was relevant to our case, but we could not add that as we required a signature of the owner of Colorado Mining School. If Honorable Tribunal permits, we want to represent it now and send it to the opposition team as well. Okay, moving forward with that. It was clear in the lab report of Alpha and Delta.
Yes, you please proceed.
Yes.
Please proceed.
Moving forward with that, it was clear in the lab reports of Alpha and Delta Limited about the percentage of tantalum pentoxide, which we already had given to our respondent. And for our confirmation, we also did another lab test in the Colorado Mining School, and the percentage of tantalum pentoxide was 17%, and the niobium percentage was 18%. However, Honorable Chair, the claimant humbly submits that the breach of contract by the respondent company has made our connection bad with our respected companies. And this is the reason we have cancelled the order. They have cancelled the order. Hence, we wanted them to take the goods back. Additionally,
Honorable Chair,
about...
I'm sorry to intervene, Honorable Chair.
Yes.
Should I raise an objection at this point?
No, kindly. Not permitted. Let her continue.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Hence, we wanted them to take the goods back. Additionally, mentioning about the other two clients, Alpha and Delta Limited are high-tech companies, and they require coltan containing 30 to 40% of tantalum pentoxide because their technologies are pacemakers in automobiles, so it required good quality of coltan, and that is the reason we mentioned it explicitly. We know
Only
the
one
fact.
more minute for your opening statement. Only one more minute for your opening statement.
Okay. Honorable Tribunal, the claimant humbly submits that the negotiation with the other two clients happened way before 15 September 2015, and the client wanted to sign the contract on that particular day. We get the quota from the respondent company so that they can check the quality. Nevertheless, the claimant will also clarify them about the timing once we got the product on 27th October. The ship reached to Ecuador port at 1 a.m. and offloaded by 4 a.m. By 6 a.m., Alpha and Delta's representatives signed the contract once they saw the product and they wanted to be sure before signing. We sent the samples to Arizona and Pennsylvania by Alpha and Delta for testing by 7 a.m. And by 3 a.m., 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. accordingly to their time zones, the sample reached to them. And by 10 p.m., we got the reports back as it was the specimen of samples, so it didn't take much long for them to examine. Moving forward on that point, by 11 p.m., Sharp called the in-house expert representative and fulfilled the online form of Colorado Lab and issued a high priority testing request and sent the samples to them. On
Yes, your time has elapsed. Now I request the respondent team to begin with their opening statement.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Am I audible, Your Honorable Chair?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Honorable Chair and my fellow participants and everyone who is present at this mock hearing, good morning to you all. I'm Aruj Fatma and I'm representing the team from Lahore University of Management Sciences, Pakistan. My team consists of 6 people. Their names and designated roles for this mock arbitration are as following. First, we have Ms. Rahat Sabah, and Ms. Rahat Sabah will be is the counsel from respondents team who will present the opening statements. Then we have Ms. Laiba Tariq. She is the counsel from respondent who will conduct examination in chief. Then we have Mr. Syed Qasim Abbas who will conduct the cross-examination. And then we have Mr. Abdul Rahman who will be playing the role of witness 1, namely William Wayne. And William Wayne is the general sales manager for Western Limited. Then we have Mr. Kareem Ahmed, and he will be playing the role of second witness, namely Thomas Sain, and he's the chief lab analyst. And finally, I myself, Aruj Fatma, will be presenting the closing statement for respondents. And after the closing statement, we will have all the counsels from our team will be open to take questions from the arbitrators. Now, with the permission of the Honorable Chair, I would like to call upon Ms. Rahat Sabat to present the opening statement.
All right. Your time starts now for the opening statement.
Much obliged.
Thank you, Aruj. Respected Mr. Chair, if you allow me, I would like to proceed with my opening statement.
Definitely. Yes, please proceed.
All right. So there is, first of all, a factual dispute that I would like to point out. During the contractual negotiations, while it was conveyed to the respondent that the claimant has to fulfill 2 supply contracts, it already entered with Alpha and Delta. The details of the contractual terms were not conveyed to the respondent, nor they should have been, because the respondent is not bound by the terms of the contract that the claimant signs with a third party. Now I would like to move to the main issues of this case. As for jurisdiction, we do accept the jurisdiction of the Learned Tribunal in pursuance of Article 20 of the contract. However, I would disagree with the application of Rule 23.2 of the BIKE Rules 29. They are not applicable because equity principles, the rule clearly lays down that the principles of equity would only be applicable if the parties have expressly agreed so in the contract, which is not the case. So as opposed to the claimant's assertion that Rule 23.2 of the BIKE Rules is applicable, it's not. Now, the first primary issue in this case is whether the respondent breached the contract. This issue, in turn, is predicated upon a factual dispute regarding the quality of coltan supplied by the respondent in the first 50 metric tons of coltan. According to claimant, the coltan supplied by the respondent contained less than 20% Ta2O5, as opposed to contractual requirement of 30 to 40%. The respondent, on the other hand, submits that the coltan supplied by it did conform to the contract as it contained 32 to 36% Ta2O5. Now, the primary evidence to resolve this dispute is the lab reports.
Can you please repeat 30? You said 32 to 36% of
Ta2O5, tantalum pentoxide.
Okay. Please proceed.
Right. So at this point, the Learned Tribunal should note that in the notice of non-conformity sent by the claimant neither specified the precise concentration of Ta2O5 nor submitted any lab report with it. You can refer to Appendix R for that. In the evidence too, the claimant did not submit any lab report or any test results, and we would not allow the admission of such evidence at this point. The 2 lab reports submitted by the claimant were conducted on behalf of Alpha Limited and Delta Limited, who are not part of the contract in question, and hence it is respectfully submitted that the tribunal should not accept their lab reports. Even otherwise, these lab reports are not credible owing to the type of test done and the date of issuance of reports. The proper equipment for finding the Ta2O5 content is the advanced mineralogy facility, whereas the report submitted by the claimant used a metal detector, which is not a proper equipment for this. The claimant's assertion that they did conduct a lab test on their own behalf, we're not denying that they would have, they might have. Our assertion is that they did not submit any lab report. They only submitted the testimony of William Alam, unsubstantiated by any lab report. So their evidence is lacking here. On the other hand, the lab report submitted by the respondent, Appendix J, is highly credible as the respondent is an international trader in minerals with its own lab facility and a separate facility for increasing the Ta2O5 content in coltan ore, which is the general practice in coltan mining. It is also an established fact that the coltan supplied in international market contains a minimum of 30% Ta2O5, whereas the claimant asserts that it contained less than 20%. The respondent always tests its minerals before dispatching them to its customers and makes sure they meet the quality requirements. The lab report submitted by the respondent shows that the coltan ore supplied to the claimant contained 32 to 36% Ta2O5 and 23 to 25% Nb2O5, thereby conforming to the contract. Moreover, apart from international customers, the respondent has been supplying coltan to international minerals for the past 10 years from the same mine and never received any complaint regarding the quality. It is impossible that the coltan from the same mine, which is also treated to increase the Ta2O5 content, suddenly fell in quality. The second dispute under the same issue is concerned with the interpretation of Article 2 of the contract. Article 2 provides that the respondent shall issue a notice of transport, as opposed to claimant's assertion it is notices of transport. It says a notice of transport when the agreed quantity of coltan becomes available for transport, and the notice of transport will be issued not later than 15th November. The claimant asserts that this provision requires both notices of transport to be sent before 15th November, as this is the only way the claimant could supply the contracts with Alpha and Delta. First of all, respondent was not aware of the claimant's contractual obligations towards third parties, as already mentioned, nor it should be. It is further submitted that claimant's reading of Article 2 of the contract is inconsistent with both the wording of the contract as well as the intention of the parties. Article 2 uses the word a notice of transport and not notices of transport. You can refer to Article 2, respected Chair. Moreover, it is an established principle that courts and tribunals read the contract as a whole, and no provision is read in isolation. The interpretation of Article 2 put forth by claimant is inconsistent with Article 4 of the contract, which provides clearly expressly that the second notice of transport is to be sent within 15 days of the delivery of first shipment. Respondent complied with both these provisions, as it sent first notice on 23rd October, which is before 15 November, and it sent the second notice on 2nd December, which is within 15 days from the delivery of first shipment. Lastly, claimant's version could only be satisfied in terms of interpretation of Article 2 if the respondent had sent the first notice on the same day when the contract was executed, which is 15th September, which is simply not possible, as it did not have 50 metric tons of coal available on the date of executing the contract, as shown by Appendix B, which gives information of our warehouse inventory. And this fact was also communicated to the claimant during negotiations. And even if the second notice had been sent by 15th November, as the claimant asserts, the claimant could not meet its obligation towards Alpha and Delta in terms of the contract with the third parties sent to us. And this issue is explained in paragraph 46 of the defense statement, if you may like to refer to it, respected Chair. Second issue in this case concerns the mala-fide intention of the claimant in avoiding the contract. To give some background to you, respected Chair, in 2013, respondent had an unpleasant experience with International Minerals, which is the parent company of the claimant, when International Minerals had put its subsidiary it had used for a transaction into bankruptcy to avoid its payment obligation towards the respondent. Only after lengthy negotiations, it agreed to compensate the respondent for at least 90%. And this is proved both by the witness statement and the payment agreement that we had with International Minerals. So the past record of International Minerals and its subsidiaries is not clean, A. Second, it is further submitted that on 6th November, the news of discovery of largest reserve of coltan in Vietnam was released, after which the market price of coltan in international market fell by 20%. Therefore, the claimant seeks to avoid the contract on false allegation of quality issues only to secure a more profitable deal from another supplier. The cogent evidence furnished by the claimant, coupled with the weak evidence furnished by the claimant, the cogent evidence submitted by the respondent, coupled with the weak evidence submitted by the claimant, shows that the quality of coltan did in fact conform to the contract. Moreover, respondent is operating the only coltan mine in Greece, so it's impossible for the quality to fluctuate that much, and it's also treated to increase the content. Another issue pertaining to mala-fide intention of the claimant is shown in the land purchase agreement submitted by the claimant, whereby it is showing that it owns a property amounting to $1 billion, whereas it is an established fact that claimant is a newly formed subsidiary of International Minerals with very few assets. So such an evidence submitted by the claimant is misleading and representative of their mala-fide intention. Another major issue in this case is whether International Minerals, the parent company of the claimant, can be joined in these proceedings. There are multiple reasons to join International Minerals as a party to arbitration. Firstly, after the unpleasant episode in 2013 that I just referred to, respondent always required International Minerals either to be a party to the contract or give sufficient security as to payment when dealing with any of its subsidiaries. This, coupled with the fact that claimant was newly formed subsidiary with very few assets, and it was very likely that International Minerals would again put its subsidiary, that is the claimant, into insolvency and avoid its obligations. This is precisely the reason why Mr. Rain, the CEO of International Minerals, has endorsed the contract so that the payment obligations of International Minerals could not be avoided by the claimant or International Minerals. Secondly, so the endorsing of the contract conveys consent and intention to be a party to the contract between the respondent and the claimant. Secondly, it is respectfully submitted that the tribunal should apply the group of companies test as laid in Sponsor versus AB. Paragraph 57 of the defense statement submitted by the respondent explains how this all these tests are satisfied. So International Minerals should be joined as a party in these arbitration proceedings. Final major issue pertains to the breach of contract by the claimant. The respondent sent the second notice of transport on time. The claimant was required to make payment within 14 days in terms of Article 4 of the contract, which it failed to make. Their assertion that we did not conform to the contract is misleading and incorrect, as will be shown by our evidence. So their avoidance of contract on the pretext of an alleged breach of contract, it amounts to a breach
The
of
last
contract.
one.
All
The
right.
last one.
Right. So respondent made 50 metric tons of coltan available and was expecting payment for it. Claimant's failure to make payment on the pretext of false allegation of breach of contract amounts to a fundamental breach of contract under Article 25 of UNCISG. Therefore, the claimant is in fact in breach of contract. I would sum up my submissions by requesting that the claimant be directed under Article 54 and 62 of UNCISG to comply with its contractual obligations and take the second shipment of coltan. A declaration be issued that in view of the evidence submitted by the respondent, the first shipment sent by the respondent, it be declared that it complied with the quality specifications in the contract, and claimant be directed to pay damages for loss caused to the respondent for wrongful termination of the contract and for loss of reputation. Thank you.
You have time for this. May I request the claimant team for the examination of witnesses. But before that, I want to take 2 minutes. I have a voice problem. I want to fix it. Just give me 2 minutes. Yes. Please start. Please start. Then please start.
Honorable Chairman, our next counsel, Nusra Jan, will be doing the examination in chief of Ben Sharp.
Honorable Chairperson of Arbitration Tribunal, I am Counsel Nusra Jan Onkun. If you permit, may I examine my witness, Ben Sharp, who is the Chief Operating Officer of Rail Limited.
Please start.
Much obliged. Can you please tell your name and profession for the record?
My name is Ben Sharp, and I'm responsible for managing Rail Limited as Chief Operating Officer.
So when did the agreement between Rail Limited and Western Limited start?
Actually, we started our negotiation meetings on 8 September 2015. In that meeting, we made it very clear that we need 100 metric tons of coltan as early as possible because we had our clients waiting, which Alpha Limited and Delta Limited. Once we received it from Western Limited, we had to deliver it subsequently to our clients. So there are our two most important clients who deals with high-tech equipments and which requires rare minerals like coltan.
Can you tell us about the Western Limited's capacity to conform with the contract?
At first, I was in real doubt that whether Western Limited had the ability to conform with our requirements or not. But Western ensured me that they had already had coltons in their reserve, so they're able to start the delivery process once the contract is signed. Well, we believe them.
Can you please tell us about the contract?
Yeah, just 7 days after the meeting, we both agreed to enter into the contract on 15th September 2015. Main content was based on coltan, but there was other clauses regarding a time limitation and requirements of goods, mainly requirements of the tantalum pentoxide and niobium.
Okay, so what was the clause regarding the quality of goods?
Okay, this is very important. In Article 3, we have clearly mentioned that we need coltan and tantalum pentoxide in 30 to 40%, and we clearly mentioned that in Article 3.
Okay, can you tell us what was the clause regarding the time limitations?
Regarding the time limitation, it was said in Article 2 that both of the notice of transport will be issued no later than 15 November 2015.
Then what was the requirement for delivering the goods?
We wanted 100 metric ton of coltan in two different installments, 50 metric tons and another 50 metric tons.
Can you tell us the reasons to have two different installments?
Actually, there was a mutual intention between us that if they do not conform with our minimum requirements, we can set aside the contract for second installment, and any cargo in these days can take 100 metric tons of load. But we still provide shipment cost twice, and we did not have that time, but still we asked for 50 metric ton coltans because this is very important to us, and this minerals is very rare. We had a real doubt, so we asked for 50 metric ton of coltan first so that we can mitigate our loss for our highly important clients.
So how did Western Limited comply with the clauses of agreement?
If you tell me about that, they could not comply with that. They took 37 days to send the first notice of transport, what they were supposed to send around very quickly. And however, we finally received the first installment after a long wait. They were time consistent in this second, but they sent the first notice after 7 days. And after that, 3 independent tests were conducted. To our utter disbelief, in every report, we found tantalum pentoxide to be below 20%. They agreed to send second notice of the transport before 15 November, but they sent it in 2nd December 2015, which we were unable to accept.
Then what did you do in this 37 days delay?
We sent them mails as reminder, but we never got any reply. We invested allocated money elsewhere, and that's it.
So how did you inform Western Limited about the poor quality of goods that you had received?
See, about our poor quality of goods, I already mentioned that I had 3 test reports, and they already said that the coltans was not above minimum quality. We sent a lack of conformity letter to them.
What was the reply?
They sent a suspicious notice of transport. The reason I'm saying that this is suspicious because they sent the first notice after 37 days. When we specifically asked them to refrain sending the second notice, they immediately sent that second notice. But they took 37 days to get the first notice. And just after the first installment, within 3 days, they just sent second notice. I don't get that.
Okay, moving to the tests you mentioned, where were the lab tests conducted?
The respective representative of Alpha and Delta visited us that day, and they conducted 2 independent tests. In both tests, they found that the percentage is below 20%. I contacted with experts of Colorado and sent them 5 samples in that very similar day. I received a call that informed me that the results was below 20%.
Before this consignment, what other type of disputes have you faced?
We have never faced this type of dispute ever before, and we were a company which were gradually building our reputation in this industry, and as the supplier and other companies were having faith in confidence reposed us. That's when we landed. We we talked with the Alpha and Delta Limited, and Alpha and Delta Limited contracted with us for their major goods requirement. And Western Limited has greatly deformed our company image, and other parties are not willing to proceed with us and close their negotiations.
So what are you thinking about the issue of receiving the second installment?
Alpha and Delta Limited already had terminated the contract with us. The first installment is no use of us, and they need to take their coltons back and pay back our money. We are not bound to pay them the second installment, as they breached our article in that contract and did not ensure the minimum product requirement.
Okay. What are your views on Vietnam mine discovery and price drop of coltan?
See, this Vietnam price discovery and the what did you say, like price drop of coltan? Okay. I do not think that no one knew such this coltan mine will be discovered, and beforehand that is actually none of our concern. Moreover, 30 to 40% tantalum pentoxide is a very rare mineral, if they know. It is totally impractical for us to jump to a new and untested mine which can harm our reputed business. Price drop is not even relevant here. Why would you take why would we take a mineral which is no good for us in any price?
So why do you think Western Limited wants International Minerals to be a signatory party in this consignment?
The Real Limited is already capable enough. They're holding sufficient property to avoid any kind of situation. Probably they want to they wanted to make, I don't know why they like they wanted to secure damages from our parent company. Maybe that's why.
No further question. If our opposition counsel have any question to our witness, they may ask.
Honorable Chair, do I have the permission to cross-examine the witness?
You can, but after, I mean, I want that the claimant should examine the witnesses first.
Okay.
Our next counsel, Nusra Jan, will be doing the examination in chief of our next witness, William Alam.
Honorable Chairman, may I please have the permission to bring my witness, Mr. William Alam?
Please, continue.
Witness. Much obliged. Witness, please state your name and age for the record.
My name is William Alam. I'm 40 years old.
So, Mr. Alam, where do you work?
I work in the laboratory of World's #1 Engineering and Mines School, which is the Colorado School of Mines.
What is your designation there?
I'm working as a test engineering officer there.
So, how long you have been working here?
I've been working there for almost 15 years with no past records of any mistakes from our lab.
Can you share a typical lab day of yours with us?
Sure. Actually, our lab is open 24/7. That's why there are two shifts. Morning shift starts from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. But if there is any special circumstances, then I also work extra hours, test minerals and metals for whoever applied to do so.
So, how many cases have you conducted?
As I have been working for 15 years, so I have tested nearly 1,000 tests.
Can you please tell us about the relationship of yours with Real Limited?
Personally, I don't even know the name of the Real Limited company. Actually, our lab doesn't work that way. They just provide us some samples for testing, and as a test engineering officer, I have tested the coltan, and I have nothing to do with the name of our client.
All right. So, where were you on 28 November 2015 morning?
As my morning shift starts from 8 a.m., I was in the lab doing my usual work.
Can you please tell us what did Real Limited submitted for testing?
Real Limited submitted a specimen of coltan for testing quality and composition of the element.
Moving forward, when did you receive the sample from Real Limited?
The issue date was 27 November.
Okay, so when did you start the test?
On 20th November, when my receptionist asked me to do that because it was issued on a highly emergency basis.
Can you tell us when did the test result arrive?
The test result arrived on 20th November and finally the written report was made on 10th December.
Can you please show the test report?
Sure, just a minute.
May I refer the comment section to All right, so can you please tell us what was the outcome of that test?
Yes, so the outcome by using our latest technologies, the outcome of the test was, it was confirmed that the quantum of tantalum pentoxide is 18% and natural niobium is also 18%.
Okay, then how did you manage to get the test results so early?
As my receptionist mentioned that it was on an early, it was on emergency basis, that's why we did the work very early.
So can you tell us what happens if tantalum pentoxide is 70% in coltan mineral?
Coltan is primarily used for the production of tantalum capacitor, which are used in many electronic devices such as mobile phones, capacitors, etc. And that's why if the quantum of tantalum pentoxide is less, then it will damage the device.
So after getting the test result, how did you manage to send it to RIA Limited?
As it was on an emergency basis, our receptionist called Mr. Sharp and stated the result.
That's all.
Thank you.
Yes, please. And now I request if claimant has finished, ended its examination of witnesses, I request the respondent to examine their witnesses.
Sir, we have one more witness.
Okay, okay.
So our counsel Nuret Hasan Arwa will be doing the chief examination of our next witness, Theorin.
You have five more minutes to complete your witness.
Honorable Chairman, can I have the permission to bring my witness, Mr.
Yes.
Theorin? Much
Yes.
obliged. Mr. Witness, can you please tell your name and profession for the record?
Well, Rain, I'm Theorin, work for International Minerals as Chief Operating Officer.
What type of business run by International Minerals Limited?
Our business is mainly based on dealing with different sort of minerals. We have many subsidiary companies who are specialized in different fields. To be very precise, International Minerals works as a hub for all the subsidiary companies of its. Yeah.
Okay, what is your connection with RIA Limited?
Well, RIA Limited is one of our newly created subsidiary companies.
Mr. Rain, what was the purpose behind creating this subsidiary company?
Well, the specific purpose was International Minerals wants to expand its business all over the world. So International Minerals created a subsidiary like RIA Limited to deal with some sort of rare minerals to make their business, to expand their business in Ecuador or all over the South America. Yes. So that's the purpose, expansion of business.
Okay. What would you tell about their performance and present status?
Well, if you are asking me about their performance, then as a parent company, I would say we are more than happy with their performance. RIA Limited is doing very good in the minerals field, and they have earned the respect, the trust of their customer. And if you're asking me about their current status, so I can tell you that RIA Limited is recently got registered under Ecuadorian law in Ecuador, and they are aiming to buy, or they have already bought a piece of land to build their office and warehouse. So they're good so far.
So, Mr. Rain, can you tell us how your newly created subsidiary company bought such a huge land?
Well, there is nothing surprising here because as a parent company, our door is always open for them. So they can come to us for loan. We provided them loan. And otherwise, State Bank of Ecuador, they provided loan to Real Limited. Otherwise, so far I know, Real Limited is financially very established. So they bought a piece of land for their warehouse and office. So it's not a big deal for them.
Mr. Rain, how was the relationship between International Minerals Limited and Western Limited?
Well, we have a very good relationship. To be very frank, we had a very good relationship of commitment with Western Limited. Us, personally, International Minerals and our other subsidiaries had performed so many consignments with International Minerals over the last 10 years. So we are very good friends. We are very good business friends.
So why did you sending the notice regard evidence of contract with your such good friend?
Well, Western Limited did not. Why I have sent the notice?
You have last 1 minute to examine the witness.
So, well, Western Limited did not deliver the products according to the agreement. They did not comply with the specified quality requirement of the contract. So, Real Limited asked me to send a mail send a mail on behalf of them to avoid the contract because Western Limited wasn't replying to Real Limited's mail, or they are not contracting with Real Limited. Yes.
Mr. Rain, what do you want to say about the 2013 incident where one of your subsidiary company had with Western Limited?
Okay, thank you for this question. I would like to put some light on that incident. In 2019, we were in a contract with Western Limited. So but we were not getting the products according to our agreement with Western Limited. There was something quality difference. They didn't comply with the quality requirement of the coltan then as well. So both us and Western Limited sat and decide mutually that we decided it amicably. We mutually decide that the Western Limited, International Minerals, that is us, will pay 90% of the payment, and Western Limited also will try to develop their quality. So that's
now your I said time is over. Now
no further question asked. Honorable
no further questions can be asked. Now your
Honorable Chair, may I interrupt?
team, they can cross-examine the witnesses of claimant team.
Thank you.
Honorable Chair, before that,
Honorable Chair, do I have the permission to cross-examine the witnesses?
Yes, definitely.
I would like to begin with Mr. Ben Sharp.
You are the counsel of respondent?
Yes, I'm the counsel respondent.
Okay.
Mr. Ben Sharp, would you like to tell me a little about the day you signed the contract with the respondents?
What are you telling me exactly?
Just tell me
Before
and
that, Mr. Sayyed, I just wanted to tell you, you have 20 minutes to examine all the three witnesses.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Okay.
Mr. Ben Sharp, could you tell me when you approached respondents to sign the contract?
Actually, we started our negotiation at 8 September, as I've already mentioned. And after 7 days, when the negotiations was started, that Western Limited mentioned that they have coltans in their reserve. So we are very assured. And then after 7 days, we signed the contract at 15th November. No.
Okay.
Let me check.
Okay.
No. It was 15th. I have to make sure. What was the date?
Mr. Ben Sharp, let me tell you, it was 15th September. It was 15th September when you signed the contract with the respondents.
Yeah,
I would just like to
tell you. Forget. Yeah.
Mr. Ben Sharp, I would just like to tell you to answer to the extent of the question and do not prolong the answers. When you were signing the contract, you claimed that the respondents assured you that the coltan was present. Why did you not ask for the sample then and got it tested so that you could be delivered all 100 metric tons of coltan since you needed an urgency?
I didn't get the last part of question. Can you repeat it?
I just said that when you signed the contract, you asked the respondent, according to you, the respondent claimed that they had 100 metric tons of coltan. Why did you not get it tested then so that you could be delivered the whole amount at that point because it was urgent for you?
Come on, why would I get it tested then? You didn't deliver it. How can it test?
So this shows no, we had it in the warehouse according to your allegations. This shows that you trusted the respondents in the terms of quality, and you had you had the CEO of International Minerals with you when you got when you got there for signing the contract, right?
You're
Am I right?
misunderstanding that. No, you're not right. You're not right. We tested that when your delivery has arrived. When your delivery has arrived, Alpha Delta's one of our representative was there.
No,
and
you're not getting my question, Mr. Benchab. You're not getting my question. My question is that since you needed all of the Coltan, since you needed all of the Coltan urgently, why did you not get all of it tested when the respondent was allegedly claiming that it has the amount you need? You could have gotten it on the same day by just testing it then and there, and then getting hold the 100 metric tons so you could confirm with your contract. But you did not do that, which shows that the respondents did not have the amount, and they told you
no.
wait for
These
the amount.
These are rare minerals.
Let's move on. Let's move on from this. I think we should move on from this.
Not going to
Could you also
mess it up.
Okay. Could you also tell me?
We specifically mentioned that we need 2 installment, which is 50 metric tons in first installment and 50 metric tons in second installment. You remember that, right? As a council?
Yeah. I remember that. I remember that. Could you also tell me that when you were signing all of this, were you already in contract with your subsidiaries Alpha and your customers Alpha and Delta at that time?
We are starting our negotiations. Yeah.
You were starting your negotiations, but you claim that you already needed that and you were in contact with
Obviously,
them.
they were our subscribed clients. We started negotiations.
Technically, you were in a contract with them at that time. Why does the contract then say a date of 27th November, which is the delivery of our first shipment to you about the contract when it was signed?
Learned Council, this is a very rare mineral. You also know that 30 to 40% coltan tantalum pentoxide is
Mr. Benchab, I need to show you at this.
You're leading me to a question.
Let me tell you at the situation. Let me tell you at the situation.
Open answer, right?
Mr. Benchab, let me tell you at the situation.
As you asked me that open-ended question. So if
Mr.
you can
Benchab,
just
let me tell you that Western Entity deals with coltan only, and it is a state-owned company which has the mine that it recovers coltan from to deliver to the whole international market. So you should not be telling us what a rare mineral is. I think this is our job to provide you the rare mineral, and we assured you at that point in time. We assured you at that.
Rare minerals.
We assured you at that point in time.
Me that I should not tell who's rare mineral.
Mr. Benchab, we assured you at that time that we will be only providing you coltan when it is available, which is why it all happened the way it did. But let's move on. Let's move on from this point. And could you also tell me why the COO of International Minerals were with you when you signed the contract? Was it not you who wanted the contract?
No, I didn't get your question. Can you please again repeat?
Yeah, okay. So why was the CEO of International Minerals with you when you went to sign the contract? What was his job? Why was Theorain with you?
Oh, Theorain. So I have mentioned that he's our parent company, and we are a subsidiary company of them. So we are starting our very important business with Alpha and Delta Limited. So as you guys that Western Limited was endorsing us that please bring Theorain as you're just he's your parent company. So we bring Theorain because of their endorsement.
I think that's the answer that I needed. I request the Honorable Chair to please note here that we requested them to bring Theorain with them because we had a prior problem with them, which I will be establishing later when I, cross-examine Mr. Theorain. And also, I'd like the Honorable Chair to note here that with this, the implicit intention was to make them a party, which my client did in this situation. Now, Mr. Benchab, that's all that I had to ask from you and establish from you. If I could also cross-examine the lab analyst, please, Mr. William, if I'm not wrong.
Thank you for all of your leading questions.
Thank you, Mr. Benchab. Mr. Williams, could you please tell me how you test for coltan and what is the process of doing that?
Yeah, sure. As I am the test engineering officer of the Colorado School of Mines, which is the number 1 engineering and mining school.
That's not relevant to us. That's not relevant to us. Just tell us how you test. Just tell us how you test.
That's why we use the highly modified technologies, and specifically.
Okay, so your highly
extreme
modified, Mr.
yeah.
William, your highly modified technology is using a metal detector.
Yes. No. Who
That's
said
not
that?
that's not high. It's written on your report. Even the report you just submitted, it's written that you used a platypus metal detector. Is that highly specified technology according to you?
The name of the device is metal detector, but the
Okay,
test
so you
we have
think okay,
run
so let me
is named
elaborate on this,
XRF.
Mr. William, for the clarification of the honorable chair. You think that Colton, to test tantalum pentoxide in Colton, you will use a metal detector. But I'd like to clarify to the honorable chair that tantalum pentoxide does not show any metallic characteristics, and it's not detectable by a metal detector. We shall move on from this. Could you also please tell me in this situation that
in our report,
Mr. William, my question is, could you please tell me when did you and how did you submit the report to your client, your customer?
Yeah. As my receptionist has said me that it was an highly emergency basis. That's why we received the Colton on 20.
You called them, right? You called them and you told them.
I didn't call them.
Your receptionist actually called them and told them about the results. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You said that you have never been in contact with Rare Ltd in your statement earlier.
Yeah,
so
sure, yes.
My only problem here is that Rare Ltd believed your call and what results you told them verbally on call. Why did you not email? Why did you not email them the report so that they could be sure that they have a report with your stamp, so that before allocating somebody who has been in a contact with them, they should have been sure, right? Why did you not, and why did they not expect? Yeah,
can you please let me answer that question?
Yeah, sure.
My designation is the test engineering officer. That's why I don't deal with the clients. I have just tested the results. I gave it to my receptionist. Receptionist called to their limited company. I don't even know their name specifically because I don't deal with their clients. I'm just working as a test officer. That's why I collect the test. And yeah, why didn't I call them? Because I don't have to do that because my receptionist or my
team thank you. I think I have
that.
the answer from here. I have the answer. I'd like to mention to the honorable chair that the claimant relied on a phone call by a laboratory or a mining school that they did not even have prior interaction with. They relied on trust, and they did not even ask. Let me talk to the honorable chair. They did not even ask for any report. They did not even ask for any report. They did not even ask for any report. Mr. William, I am the person asking the question, so I will be questioning you if required. I'd like to.
But you aren't listening to me. You aren't listening to me.
Yes, Mr. William, what did you want to speak? Please speak.
Yes, thank you so much, Honorable Arbitrator. Actually, the laboratory is the world's #1 laboratory, testing laboratory, which name is Colorado School of Mines. So there is no question for any kind of allegations or lack of authenticity from us because it is proven, or you can check any reports. There has been no mistakes from our part or from any kind of our previous experiences. We are very expert in this field, and everyone knows that how much expert we are. That's why they came to us. Usually we get thousands of clients.
Okay. Honorable Chair, I understand that William is trying to establish a reputation, but this does not say that mistake cannot happen. A mistake in testing can happen at any point in time in any report. So I believe the claimants should have first performed due diligence and could have asked for the report from Colorado School so that they have something substantive in their hand that they could have emailed us with their email of avoidance of contract, so they could have legal basis to tell us that we have been in breach. I'd also like to mention to the honorable chair that this report is coming very late. This is to establish a fundamental breach of contract. Since the report wasn't prepared at the time they sent an email to us, I believe that this has some pointing towards malified intention, because they did not submit a report through their email, they did not submit a report through their evidence, and they are now submitting the report, which is coming to a surprise to us. So this shows that they're modifying evidence over time. Honorable Arbitrator, I would now want to ask questions from Theo Rain. That's the last witness, because I've established
Chair, before proceeding, Honorable Chair, sorry to interrupt. Before proceeding, our respondent council is continuously asking non-leading questions. If
And
you
let him
know
ask.
that.
I'll consider it.
Okay, okay. Honorable Chair.
Yes, continue, Mr. Sayed.
Thank you, Mr. Rain. Could you please tell me, were you present at the signing of the contract there?
Sorry, I didn't hear it. Can you?
You were present when the contract was signed, am I right?
Yes, yes. I was the media to meet both Real Limited and Western Limited. I was working as a media. Yeah.
Mr. Rain, you were also asked to endorse the contract, am I right?
Yes, it was your obligation. You forced us so much, International Minerals, to endorse the contract because they are our subsidiary, and we signed the contract at endorser due to our friendship, and it's not a big deal, I guess.
Mr. Rain, could you also, you said in your testimony that we were in a breach of quality before as well, am I right?
Yes, yes, right.
Could you please elaborate on why you continued doing business with us if we were in breach of quality before? And what is the purpose of doing business with a company that has been compromising on quality and your reputation over and over again?
Well, Learned Counsel, we're the businessman. You are the legal one here, right? We're the businessman. We have our own criteria to settle our disputes. So I have also mentioned, you haven't listened carefully. So I have also mentioned that we have very amicably, we have settled the dispute. We agreed to pay 90%, and Western Limited also agreed to develop their product quality. So we mutually decided, and dispute can happen. So we mutually decided.
Thank you for that, Mr. Thurin. Thank you for that. Could you tell me, a subsidiary of yours was, bankrupt a while ago? Am I right?
No, you are absolutely wrong. You are creating fictitious story, and that is very much disrespectful. I would like to request
Mr.
the
Thurin,
tribunal that you are disrespecting a witness.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to clarify here, this is an established fact written in the fact pattern that a subsidiary of theirs got bankrupt and they used it to evade a few, obligations of a contract. So this is an established fact, which shows that Mr. Thurin
provided by BIAC institution, and fact, a paper of fact can be the conclusive evidence, and that was your part of submission, respondent part of the story.
No, it was part of the facts.
By calling
the facts, but let's move on. Mr. Rain, you informed about the quality of Coltan, and it was allegedly lower. How were you informed about it? Did Ben Sharp write to you, or did you also come up with a call from Colorado Mile? How did you know there was?
Yeah, thank you for this question. First, Real Limited send a lack of conformity notice. The contracting party Real Limited send a lack of conformity notice to the Western Limited. But Western Limited didn't reply to them. They were not interested to reply them. So as I am, International Mineral is a very good friend. We have done business over 10 years with them. So they come to us as a parent company. I have sent I have got to know from Real Limited, and they requested me to send the lack of conformity notice and and the notice of avoidance to Western Limited. So I did it on behalf of them, and they let me know. Real Limited, Mr. Ben Sharp, informed me about the incident, that the goods are not conforming with the goods, or conforming with the contract. And while they are trying to contact you, that the goods are not conforming with the contract, you are not, the respondent company did not reply them. So I did it for my subsidiary company.
So you just had the word of Mr. Ben Sharp and no substantive evidence, am I right?
No,
because Mr. Ben Sharp also did not have a report. So you were just working on the word.
We are not bound to adduce all the evidence to this tribunal, everyday chit chat with the. We're not bound to give.
No, Mr. Thurin, I'm just trying to establish for Mr. Chairman that you all were just relying on verdicts by Colorado Mining School, and there was no substantive report circulating around.
I would like to interrupt here. We had 3 lab reports where consistently they are showing that 3 lab reports is consistently showing that the quality of the coltan is lesser than required by the contract. So you may not rely on particular lab report.
Okay.
Then you can go to other one.
Honorable Chairman, I'd like to point a few things out here. The 3 lab reports were conducted in the US. The travel time from Ecuador to US is more than 8 to 9 hours. They were returned in a day. And the test that we are talking about is the highly specialized test as talked by the analyst. And it takes around 5 to 6. Mr. Theoren, I'm talking to the honorable. I'm talking to the honorable chair.
No,
Can I please talk to the
you
honorable
are
chair?
trying to misdirect the respected tribunal. So I need
No.
Yes.
The test is highly
Mr.
specialized as told by Mr. William Allen. He confirmed the test is very specialized and it takes time. So
No, he
I
didn't.
believe the
I
3
guess he
reports could
didn't.
not have
Honorable tribunal
the
will
3
decide
reports.
that.
The 3 reports cannot be returned in a day back. And also I'd
Yes, it
also
is
like to
possible.
tell the
We are
honorable.
living in the era of
There
internet.
was,
It's possible. No,
Mr.
man.
Theoren,
We are
there was
living in
no
the era of internet.
there was no report returned to you by the Colorado Mining School. It has been confirmed. You
We have
just got the
mentioned that
report and you presented it.
came to us
You
later. But we
presented the
got the
report.
soft copy earlier. We got the soft copy earlier. But the
Why did
written
you not
copy,
submit the
Final-
soft copy?
final-
Why did you
final
not?
one
that
minute.
was
Final
our
one
My
minute.
last question is that
Sorry
why
to
did you
interrupt,
not
Honorable
submit?
Chair. Our respondent council is taking more than 15 minutes. The time is
Final
very
one
much.
minute. Final one minute.
It was 20 minutes. Honorable Counsel, it was 20 minutes. And
Final one
lastly, why did if you had the report circulating everywhere, why did you not submit the report to the person you are explaining that they're in breach of contract? You had to perform due diligence and you had to give this to them so that they could establish and we could know that you had substantive evidence that we were in breach of contract. With this, Mr. Honorable,
Mr. Counsel,
Mr.
I got a
Honor-
question. May I answer?
Yes.
yeah,
May I
okay,
answer please
okay,
first?
yeah,
Okay.
sure.
I have already mentioned that we have sent you 2 lab report of 2 best mineralogy lab of USA.
Both of them are not binding on us.
No,
Both of them are not binding on us because they're done by your clients, not our clients.
No,
They were not
our
even a
clients.
party
Listen,
to the contract.
Listen, Mr.
That's not even
Mr.
privity.
Counsel,
That's
it would be
against
good for
privity
us.
of the
It would
contract,
be
right?
good for us.
Time
if
stops
you-
now. Time finishes. Time finishes for cross-examination. Now it's time for the respondent team to examine their witnesses.
Honorable Chair, I would like to call upon Ms. Laiba Tariq to examine, to conduct chief examination of the witnesses of our side.
Ms. Laiba is your counsel?
Yes, she will be conducting the examination in chief with your permission.
All right. Yes, permitted. Start.
Thank you.
Yes, start.
Honorable Chair, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Honorable Chair, may I proceed with the examination of our first witness?
Proceed.
Am I audible to the first witness? Please tell us your name and your relationship with the parties.
Am I audible to you now? Honorable Chairman, am I audible to you now?
Yes, Mr. Abdul.
Okay. So, what did you ask, Ms. Laiba? Can you repeat the question?
Yes, sure. Please tell us your name and your relationship with the parties.
So, my name is Mr. William Wine, and my relationship with the party is that on 8th of September 2015, Mr. Rain, who is the Chief Operating Officer of International Minerals, approached me about concluding a contract with one of its subsidiaries, that is Rare Minerals, and we then negotiated a contract on 15th September.
Before that, just 1 minute. The respondent team can examine maximum 3 witnesses in 20 minutes. As many time you can allocate to each witness.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Please proceed.
Yes. So tell us about Western Limited's business dealing with you and your role in those dealings.
So mainly Western Limited is a state-owned company of Greece, and it mainly sells minerals like coltan, copper, and gold to international sellers and international brokers of minerals in international market. And our main relationship with international minerals was regarding the sale of coltan.
How long have you known Rare Limited?
It's been almost, no, I got to know about Rare Mineral when Mr. Theo Rain, who is the Chief Operating Officer of International Minerals, approached me on 8th of September 2015. Only then I came to know about Rain Minerals, and then I met Mr. Ben Shaw, who is the Chief Operating Officer of Rain Minerals.
How long have you known International Limited, and tell us about your prior dealings with them?
I've been in contact with International Minerals for past 10 years, and our relationship with them has been very smooth. But there was one incident in 2013 when one of its subsidiary companies, Amber Limited, got bankrupt, and International Minerals tried to avoid the contract because they said that because Amber is a separate entity, and we are not, as International Mineral is not obligated to pay their obligations towards us. So thereafter, we then made and after some negotiation, we made a contract with them, and then they paid us 90% of the payment obligations that were owed to us by Amber Limited.
Can you highlight who were the parties to the contract signed on 15th September 2015?
So yeah, on 15th September, there were almost 3 parties. First, it was Rare Minerals and we concluded a contract as Western Mineral as us. We concluded a contract with them, but International Minerals was mainly the brain of the negotiation proceedings, and we asked them after in 2013 we had a recent event that after that we were very cautious about International Minerals, and we asked them to mainly become a party to the contract, and then after that we asked them to pay us letter of credits so that anything that is owed to us by its subsidiary gets paid in time.
So when did your company issue first notice of transport?
We issued them first notice of transport on 23rd of October 2015, and because when we were concluding the contract with them, at our inventory in warehouse, we did not have much coltan amount available, and during the negotiations we made them aware that we do not have much quantity available, and we'll be making the notice available to you in due time. And then in the contract also shows that the payment and delivery obligations were much lenient.
Can you please repeat the date on which you issued the first notice of transport?
The first notice of transport was issued on 23rd of October.
So how did you know that the claimant understood and knew that 15th November, as explicitly written in the contract, was only for the first notice of transport and not for both notices?
During the negotiation proceedings, first of all, we showed them the inventory report, because in inventory we had much less coltan available, and then we asked them through the negotiations that we will be delivering the first notice no later than 15th November, and that is clearly available and written in the contract Article 2, which shows that only the first notice has to be sent before 15th of November.
When did you receive the payment, the first payment?
We received the first payment on 3rd of November. Yes.
When was the first batch of coltan delivered?
So yeah, the first batch of coltan was delivered on 27th of November.
How do you know that the first batch of the coltan delivered met the quality standards highlighted in the contract?
So yeah, as we are an international seller of minerals, and we are dealing for almost 2 to 3 decades, and as a rule of prudence, we have at our mining site a facility where we use the advanced mineralogy facility to test coltan, and we also have the facility to increase the concentration of coltan, because in international market 30% concentration of tantalum pentoxide is a custom, and 30% concentration only those parties the parties who are involved in international trade, if they have the 30% concentration, only they do the international trade. And lower than that quality, parties don't really survive in the international market.
Kindly unmute yourself.
On 8th
am
of
I-
September.
am I
Okay, okay.
audible?
Am I audible to you?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, on 8th of September. Okay.
So can you please provide a brief summary of timeline about
Okay,
the
okay,
issuance
okay.
of notices, about the payment, when you received the payment and when the delivery
Okay.
was reached?
Okay, so on 8th of September, Mr. Rain, who is the Chief Operating Officer of International Minerals, approached us. And then on 15th of September, we concluded a contract with Rare Minerals and International Minerals as an endorsee. That was the Colton purchase contract. And then on 23rd of October, we sent them the first notice of transport. After that, on 4th of November, the claimant paid the first payment. And on 27th of November, we delivered the first shipment. Then on 2nd of December, we sent them the second notice of transport.
So when did you receive the notice about the non-conformity of the Colton delivered?
So we received two notices. First was about the non-conformity of Colton purchase contract, and the second was about avoiding the contract itself. First was sent by Mr. Ben Sharp, and the second was sent by Mr. Theo Rain, who is the Chief Operating Officer of International Minerals. And Mr. Rain, by sending us the notice, did not, and Mr. Sharp, they did not send us any lab report or anything else, but they just said that we are not complying with the concentration levels.
So who sent the notice about non-conformity of the Colton delivered?
Please unmute yourself, Mr.
Oh, sorry, Honorable Chairman. So the non-conformity was sent by Mr. Ben Sharp, and the avoidance of contract was sent by Mr. Theo Rain, who is the Chief Operating Officer of International Minerals.
So when did you send the second notice of transport?
After on 1st of December, we got the notices, and then on 2nd of December, we sent them the second notice of transport, telling them clearly that we sufficiently and clearly are abiding by the terms of the contract, and they have now the obligation to pay for the second notice of transport. And then we also asked International Minerals to issue a letter of credit in our favor in case Rare Ltd fails to comply with the obligations, payment obligations.
So did you receive the payment within 14 days after you sent the second notice of transport?
We did not receive any communication after that. They did not respond to us, and we were totally unaware of what's happening. We were caught by surprise at what has happened all of a sudden.
So what do you think is the reason for Rare Limited's failure to make the payment for the second batch of Colton?
I think that the only reason could be that on 6th of November, there was a feasibility report and a news came out that some unprecedented amount of Colton has been discovered in Vietnam. And after that, the price of Colton in the international market fell down by 20%. We had the contract with them at $45 per kg. And thereafter, within a few weeks, the price fell down to $35 per kg. And I think that the only reason could be that because they got aware about these things and now they are trying to avoid the contract because they can make use of this opportunity in a very limited time space.
Honorable Chair, we have no further questions for our first witness. May I proceed with the second witness?
Yes, please. Yes, yes.
Am I audible to the second witness?
You have 10 more minutes.
Yes, Honorable.
9 minutes.
Please tell us your name and your position at Western Limited Advanced Mineralogy Facility.
Audible? I am Thomas Sen and I am the Chief Lab Analyst of. Am I audible? I'm Mr. Thomas Sen and I'm the Chief Lab Analyst.
Can you tell us about your education?
And my specialization, Masters in Mineralogy and Mining Engineering from McGill University, Canada. And previously I used to work at the SGS Advanced Testing and Engineering, Michigan, USA.
So why was Western Limited Advanced Facility established?
So it was basically established to inspect the composition of different minerals which are supplied to different national and international companies, and also its purpose to reassure time and again our customers about the quality of the product that we are selling to them.
So for the purpose of international trade, what is the required or acceptable percentage of tantalum pentoxide in coltan?
As per the international standards, it's 30 to 40% of tantalum pentoxide and 20 to 30% of the natural niobium.
Can you describe the standard test used to determine mineral
Can you please
composition
again
of
repeat,
coltan?
Mr. Thomas, 20 to 30%, what did you say?
So it's the international standards for tantalum pentoxide is 30 to 40% and natural niobium is 20 to 30%.
Okay, proceed.
So can you describe the standard used to determine mineral composition of coltan?
So SGS Advanced Mineralogy Facility is the machinery that is required to conduct the mineralogy test. And it basically makes the product go through a series of tests after which finally the composition of different sort of minerals, including the coltan, is determined. And the different sort of stages are mineral concentration and density testing, precision and accuracy testing, proficiency testing, and round robin exercises, mineral identification and textures. And it takes up to more than 8 hours for conduction of this entire sort of facility on average.
Can you please elaborate about on the accuracy and reliability of this test?
So since we are one of the most advanced sort of VF facilities, which is the SGS Advanced Facilities, and it is considered to be one of the most reliable tests for coltan, assessing the quality of minerals like coltan, and it has a very high sort of succession rate, very high sort of accuracy rate.
So what was the percentage composition of tantalum pentoxide in the batch submitted by Western Limited on 19th October 2015?
So it was duly conducted under my supervision, and the composition of tantalum was 32 to 36%, whereas the composition for natural niobium was 23 to 25%. And the report was published on 22nd October. And also the weight was taken into consideration, and it was 50 metric tons. And also we issued a quality assurance certificate, which provided that the quality was in conformity with the contractual requirements.
Honorable Chair, we have no further question for our witnesses.
Thank you. Now, I call upon the claimant to cross-examine the respondent witnesses.
Honorable Chair, our counsel Baina Ifa will cross-examine the witness of
You have maximum 20 minutes for it.
Yes, Honorable Chair. Our responding team, William Wayne.
Honorable Chairperson, may I get your permission to cross-examine the witness, Mr. Wine?
Yes, please.
Mr. Wine, you are the General Sales Manager of Western Limited Company, aren't you?
Please repeat your question. Audible to you now?
Yes, please go on.
Okay. Can you please repeat your question?
Mr. Wine, you are the General Sales Manager of Western Limited Company, aren't you?
Yes, I am the General Sales Manager of Western Limited.
Okay, and you signed the contract with the Rare Limited Company, didn't you?
We signed the contract with Rare Mineral and International Minerals on 15th of September 2015.
Okay, I got my point. Thank you. And you are aware of the fact that the issue of transport notice was not supposed to delay after 15 November 2015,
No,
weren't
no,
you?
you are incorrect, because during the negotiation proceedings, we sufficiently made it clear that we do not have the amount of coltan available at our facility. And as you have seen that our appendix V, which is attached as our evidence, that it shows that during the time that when the contract was being concluded, we did not have the requisite amount available at our warehouse. And on that assumption, we made, I asked Mr. Rain and Mr. Benshaw to please consider this, and we asked them. Let me complete, please.
I got your point. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
But in the deed of agreement, there is no express term stating that both of the installments have to be made within 15 November 2015. Isn't it correct?
No. Can you read Article 2 of the contract? Have you read Article 2 of the contract or not?
Please, Mr. One, confine your answer in yes or no, because
I will read you Article 2 of the contract, which says that the seller, we are the seller, will issue a notice of transport when agreed coltan quantity becomes available. So when agreed coltan quantity becomes available, what does it mean? Because during the negotiation proceedings,
you can, Mr. Abdul, you can explain it in arguments. Let the claimant ask the questions and answer specifically.
Much obliged. Mr. Wine, that wasn't my question. Actually, I was talking about the transport notice. Mr. Honorable Arbitrator, I would like to now share the screen to rephrase or remind our witness what he's trying to state. So may I get the permission, Honorable Tribunal?
Yes.
Thank you. Much obliged. Honorable host, can you please able me to share my screen? Honorable host of the tribunal today. Much obliged. Okay, Mr. Wine, can you please state what's the name of the document? Can you please unmute yourself? You're not audible.
Can you please unmute, Mr. Abdul?
Okay, I'm really sorry. So it is the coltan purchase contract. It was concluded on 15th of September 2015.
I asked the name of the agreement. That is the coltan purchase contract. Isn't it correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Moving forward, I have highlighted the line. Can you please state it clearly? Can you read it loud?
Okay, so I cannot read the second line without reading the first line. How is it possible that I will read the second line without reading the first line? And then because let me complete. I concluded a contract with Mr. Theorin and Mr. Benshaw. I asked them that we do not have the requisite amount available, and we asked them
thank you.
Kindly answer specifically, Mr. Abdul.
So
yes.
So
the notice of transport.
So you will get the time to raise this all these things in arguments.
Okay.
Yes. Can you please confine your answers in yes or no?
The notice of transport.
Mr. One, please let me question you first. Mr. One, my question is there is no express term stating that both of the installment has to be done. The only one installment has to be done within this estimated time. Isn't it correct?
I cannot read how is it written that only two, that both the contract.
We got our point.
Yes.
How
is it possible that
next question,
both of them will be
Moving forward, Honorable Arbitrator, here I would like to suggest you that according to Article 2 of the deed of agreement between the parties, clearly it covers both of the installments. Thank you. Moving forward, Mr. One, you know that we have previously subscribed to contracts with Alpha and Delta. Isn't it correct?
So I was not aware of anything that you had any contractual obligations with any third party. and you did not made us aware of any of these obligations towards the
Next question. Next question.
Mr. Wan, but you were aware that we had previously subscribed contracts to supply contracts.
No,
Isn't
no,
it
no.
correct?
During the negotiations proceedings, I was only
Thank you. I
told that they were. I was only told
Confirm your answer
told
in yes or no.
that I was only told that you are a broker of minerals and you will thereafter send send
Okay,
them
okay,
to third
okay. We got your
parties. But I was
point,
not
Mr.
aware
Wan. Thank you.
of the specific parties.
Thank you. I want to refresh your memory here because as I can share the screen now, that in your own witness statement in the para 3, you have clearly mentioned that as Honorable Arbitrator, I have highlighted that they knew that we have 2 supply contracts. Thank you,
You had
Honorable
2 supply
Arbitrator.
contracts. You were aware that I'm telling you that we were aware of the 2 supply contracts, but we were
Yes,
not aware who were
that
the
was
parties.
exactly my question. That was exactly my question. Thank you, Mr. Wan. Now moving forward, as Western Limited isn't the only supplier of coltan, that's why we had other options. Isn't it correct?
Western is the only supplier of coltan in Greece.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Moving forward, isn't it true that International Mineral gave an email regarding the lack of conformity?
So yeah, we received an email from International Minerals by sent by Mr. Theorin.
Mr. Wan.
So he wrote that they want to avoid the contract. So that shows that they were party to the contract.
So the answer is yes. So Honorable Arbitrator, I would like to mention, I would like to suggest you that yes, they received the lack of conformity, but they didn't reply us back on that incident.
No,
Okay,
we replied the next day. We replied to both mails the next day on 2nd of December 2015 that we are sending you the second notice of transport. And we replied to International Minerals, sending them that, asking them to send us a letter of credit.
Okay, I got your point. Okay, Mr. Wan, you aren't aware of the fact that the claimant did not want to continue with the second installment, are you?
Second installment, okay. So it was agreed in the contract that when the first installment was delivered at the port of Oceanside, after that, on that day, the 15 days start and within 15 days. So on 27th of November, Rare Mineral received the first installment. And within 15 days, we had the obligation to send a second notice of transport.
We got your point. Okay. Mr. Wan, moving forward, you have tested the coltan in your personal lab called Western Limited STS Advanced Mineralogy Facility before sending it to Real Limited Company. Isn't it correct?
Okay. So we had previous dealings with your parent company, International Minerals. During the last 10 years, they were aware of all of these things that
I just asked.
Answer specifically, Mr. Abdul.
Okay.
Please, Mr.
So,
Wan.
okay. So you asked that Rare was not aware. Rare was impliedly aware.
Let me ask you the question again. You didn't get my question, Mr. Wan.
You asked the question again.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Arbitrator. My question was, you tested the coltan in your personal lab called Western Limited STS Advanced Mineralogy before sending it to Real Limited
I
Company.
did not
Isn't
personally
it correct?
test the coltan. I did not personally check the concentration of the contract. That is the concern of the quality assurance department. I am the general sales manager. I am not a technical person. I only deal with sales.
Can you please confirm your answers in yes or no? You tested the coltan in your lab. Isn't it correct?
I am not testing the coltan in my own lab. The
You
quality
didn't
assurance
test,
department.
but your
The quality assurance
people.
department tests.
Okay,
that
okay,
thing.
okay. Moving forward.
In my personal capacity, I am only the sales manager.
Okay,
I do
so,
not deal.
so it is completed. So it is confirmed that they have tested the coltan in the lab. Okay, Mr. Wan, but you have tested your the coltan in your personal lab. So so there was not so the tested coltan. It would have been much better if you guys have tested the coltan from an independent standard mineral lab, and the lab should have been more relevant. Isn't it correct?
Okay. Let me say. So we are an international trader of minerals. We have a facility available at our site where we check the concentration levels because we cannot afford to make contracts with third parties, but first we send them the
Mr. Owen, I
first,
got your point.
because it will become
I
very
got your
inconvenient
point.
for us to.
Okay, I got your point. Honorable arbitrator, here I would like to mention you that the Western Limited Company had opportunity to test the coltan in another independent laboratory, but in spite of that, they tested the coltan in their personal lab. So maybe there is a high chance of a bias.
If you had asked us
thank you so
about
much,
testing
Honorable
it in third
Arbitrator.
laboratory,
Moving
then we would have
forward,
done that.
moving
You didn't
forward,
ask us about any things.
moving forward, Mr. William, Mr. White, as you are the general sales manager, so you didn't supervise the delivery process of your company, isn't it correct?
I only supervise the delivery processes. That's correct.
Okay. And as you have claimed that you have many dealings with other companies, so in your storage, there was a possibility that you have also coltan for the other supplies also, isn't it correct?
No, that's not correct. When we were concluding the contract, we had not the requisite amount available at our warehouse, and we can show that with the evidence that the inventory report shows that we did not have the requisite, which was
that. Okay.
100
Okay,
metric tons.
thank you so
That was
much,
not available
Honorable Arbitrator.
at that time.
Okay, I got your answer. Thank you so much, and that's all. Thank you so much, Honorable Arbitrator.
You have completed a cross now?
Yes, Honorable Arbitrator.
You don't want to cross another witness?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Yes, our second counsel will come and cross their second witness.
Okay.
Our counsel Ishtiaq bin Farooq will cross-examine the witness of our respondent team, Thomas Sen.
Honorable Chairperson of the Tribunal, I am Ishtiaq bin Farooq, counsel of the claimant. With the permission of the Tribunal, I would like to cross-examine the witness, Mr. Thomas Sen. May I please proceed?
Done.
Much
Yes.
obliged. Mr. Thomas Sen, if I refer you as Mr. Thomas, will it be okay with you?
That will be perfectly fine.
So, Mr. Thomas, you are working as Chief Laboratory Analyst for Western Limited Company's personal in-house laboratory called Western Limited Advanced Mineralogy Facility. Is that correct?
Absolutely. You are perfectly correct.
All right. So you have been employed by Western Limited Company for a long period of time as Chief Laboratory Analyst, approximately for 10 years or more. Is that correct?
It's been quite a while.
Well, so Mr. Thomas, as you were the employee of Western Limited as a Chief Laboratory Analyst, so I would like to ask Mr. Thomas, you have examined the 50 metric tons of coltan in Western Limited's in-house mineral laboratory before sending it to Real Limited, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Mr. Thomas, a bulk of coltans can be examined by inspecting its specimen in a standard mineral lab. As a Chief Laboratory Analyst, don't you think it's correct?
Sorry, could you kindly repeat your question?
Okay, I'm reasserting that. A bulk of coltan's quality can be examined by inspecting its specimen in a standard mineral laboratory. As a Chief Laboratory Analyst, don't you think
it
it's
cannot.
correct?
As someone who's been in this field for more than 20 years, I believe the quality of coltan can only be assessed using the SGS Advanced Mineralogy Facilities, which is
no, Mr. Thomas, you didn't get my point. I'd like to interrupt. I was saying that specimen can be by inspecting the specimen of a bulk of coltan, you can say the result of the whole bulk's quality. Isn't it possible in a standard mineralogy lab?
5 more minutes. 5 more minutes.
Yes, it can be, but only a sample, right? Only a sample would be.
Well. Oh, right. So, Mr. Thomas, a bulk of so your coltan check report, which was signatured by you, asserted that you needed the whole 50.
That's not correct. For your assurance, we only took a sample, a batch of out of the 50 metric tons of coltan of the. Am I audible?
Yes.
I think the council is not able to hear me. Council. All right. May I proceed?
In terms of coltan.
All right. So, Honorable Arbitrator, we only took a representative of the and the weightage was carried out to ensure that the weight is 50 metric ton. 50 metric
Honorable
ton.
Arbitrator, I apologize for my internet issue.
Your voice was not clear. Please repeat again what you were saying. What were you saying, Mr. Istak? He's losing connection again and again. Mr. Farooq, you're losing connection again and again.
Anyone from the like to intervene? Because
Can anybody else take over, Mr. Farooq, and ask questions?
Honorable Tribunal,
Yes, no. Yes,
I do apologize for my internet issue. May I proceed again, please?
I think don't switch on your camera because it will your broadband is less.
Okay, sir.
There's no issue. You switch off your camera. Yes.
Much obliged.
Yes, come on, ask.
So, Mr. Thomas, am I audible to you?
Yes.
Well, so
Thomas, is he audible to you?
Yes, he is.
Yes. Okay, done. Come on, carry on.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. So, Mr. Thomas, as you asserted, you needed the whole 50 metric tons of coltan to check its quality, right? You need to examine the whole 50 metric tons of coltan to examine its quality.
So usually, as a practice, you cannot examine the whole 50 metric tons of coltan, right? You, as a matter of practice, you only take out some sample or a representative and you check the quality.
I would like to interrupt,
and
Mr.
also,
Thomas. I would like to interrupt. You have tested the batch num 002128, right? Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. So the
right.
batch num 002128 detailing that the 50 metric tons of coltan extracted from Western Limited's mine. So you have tested the 50 metric tons of coltan, rather testing a specimen of it. Anyways, moving further.
I would like to I would like to reassure as a practice in international community, international market, you cannot test 50 metric tons and you only take out a sample.
That's my concern.
As a matter of fact,
that was my concern because you have mentioned that you have tested all the 50 metric tons coltan.
We did not. I beg your pardon. We did not mention that we tested 50 metric tons of coltan. We said we took out a sample and 50
I would
metric
like to refer
was
Honorable
mentioned
Tribunal
because
to Appendix J from Respondents Bundle, where it was specifically mentioned that the batch num 002128 stating that they have tested whole 50 metric tons of coltan. Anyways, moving further.
So let me clarify. 50 metric tons of coltan was also weighed. We also wanted to weight it so as to comply with the contractual obligation.
Mr. Thomas,
we also weighted it so as to ensure it was 50 metric tons.
Mr. Thomas, I would like to remind you that the time of this tribunal is very precious. So please try to be confined in yes or no and respect the time of the tribunal. So yeah. So Mr. Thomas, can you please state the as you were the chief analyst of the chief lab analyst of Western Limited Company of their personal lab where you have tested the 50 metric ton. So can you please assert the name of the test you have used for testing the coltan?
So as I told you earlier, I think you are I have already specified it. The facility is named Advanced Mineralogy Facility.
No, Mr. Thomas, you are not getting me again. I have asked you which particular test you have used to examine the goods. The name of the test. As a laboratory analyst, you should know that.
I'm trying to get to the point, and you are not allowing me to speak.
Okay.
So, please.
Pardon me.
Right. So there is as I said earlier, there is a series of tests that are conducted to ensure that the quality of coltan is up to the mark, right? So it includes concentration and density tests. It includes round robin exercises. It also includes.
Mr. Thomas, I'm sorry for interrupting you again. I just asked the name of the test. I don't want to know the elaboration of the test or how does it conduct. So I just want to know the name.
That is exactly what I am replying to. I'm saying,
no, you are not exactly what replying. Anyways, you
there
are
are
stealing the time of the tribunal. Let's move further, Mr. Thomas.
Yes, yes. Your time. Your
Okay,
time.
Yes,
Your
Mr.
time
Thomas,
for your
okay.
Only
Mr.
one last
Mr.
question.
Thomas, sir, I need to ask 3 more questions, please, if you permit me.
Only one last question. You know you don't have the time. Only one last question.
Okay, sir. So, Mr. Thomas, you knew about the contract of Western Limited Company with Real Limited Company for delivering 100 metric tons of coltan in 2 installments?
Yes, I was aware of it.
So I would like to have the attention of the tribunal that as the chief lab analyst who tested the coltan, who gives the report of quality of coltan, who was aware about the contract, and he was employee
Your time
of
finishes.
the
I have taken note of
company.
it. I have taken note of everything, Mr. Counsel. I have taken note of everything.
Much obliged.
Thank you so much. Now, I invite the claimants team for their arguments and submissions.
Honorable Tribunal, if I may interrupt. Honorable Tribunal, can I request you to give the counsel of the respondent a chance for redirect examination for clarification of facts to the arbitrators, because we believe that some clarification of facts need to be made. So if a chance is given to the counsel of
for redirecting, I give three minutes to both the teams. I give 3 minutes to both the teams. Both the teams.
Thank you so much. I'm much obliged, Honorable.
3 minutes.
So should we go first, Honorable Tribunal?
Yes.
Much obliged.
Honorable Chair.
Mr. Uruz, who is for claimant?
I am for the respondent, Honorable Chairman.
Okay, you respond.
So I would like to.
You have 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. I would like to redirect, examine my witness Thomas Sen. Mr. Thomas Sen, could you please tell us what is the normal procedure of testing any batch?
So right, after extraction, we take the I would like to specify the procedure by taking example of this particular sort of contract. We took out 50 metric tons of coltan, and as a matter of procedure, we firstly weighted it to ensure the weight is in conformity with the contractual obligations or not, and then we take out a batch. We take out a representative sample out of the entire 50 metric tons of coltan, and we conduct the test then at SGS Advanced Mineral Facility.
I would now like to clarify to the Honorable Chair that the process, the batch number that we were talking about is representative of the whole 50 metric tons, but our clients take out a representative sample from that batch. They first weigh it as an international practice, then take out a sample and then test it. And once they perform due diligence, they then send the notice of transport. I'd also like to ask you, in what capacity did you know about the contract?
I know about the contract in capacity is the chief lab analyst.
So technically, would you like to clarify were you some sort of, were you benefiting from knowing of the contract or breach of contract?
So let me clarify. So since we are an independent empowered sort of lab, which conducts tests on individual independent basis, right? I could not have benefited from this particular contract since I am an independent lab analyst.
Thank you. I think Mr. Thomason, that's all from you. I'd like to mention to Honorable Chair that here, according to the statement of Mr. Thomason, it is asserted that this lab facility was established to make sure that whatever work that Western entity is doing.
Raise all these things in arguments. You just redirect.
I think that's all. I will, Honorable Chair, from our side.
And I invite the other party for redirection. Yes, I give 3 minutes to other party, the claimant party.
Honorable Chair, we have nothing to clarify or ask any of our chief witnesses. So we would like to conclude with a rebuttal in our closing statement. We would like
no,
to
you just started arguments now. Arguments.
Sure. So our counsel Orkut
I'll give you
Hassan
10
will come
minutes,
and
only in total.
yes, sir. Our counsel Orkut Hassan will come and conclude the submission with his closing statement.
Honorable Chair, I'm Tahsin Mahmood, representing the claimant. May I proceed with my closing speech?
Yes, please.
Much obliged. As we have heard so far in today's tribunal, the liabilities behind this dispute have been getting clearer that the respondent's breaches regarding the product requirement and the deadline has damages us greatly, and it is a matter of time that this tribunal will have the rulings in favor of the claimant. Honorable Chair, my submission will draw your attention over the arising disputes regarding, firstly, the breach of the deadline, secondly, the breach of the minimum product requirement. Firstly, with the rebuttals, I want to start. As a matter of surprise, our learned respondents have asked leading questions to their witnesses and asked non-leading questions to our witnesses, which is the opposite practice of the general. Firstly, Honorable Chair, please note that during the cross-examination, the Respondents' Counsel repeatedly and deliberately asked non-leading questions, and probably our CEO, and they had tried to make an issue that in a way that our COO has trusted the respondent as they have submitted by relying on the representation. We signed the contract in good faith, but the reply we got now is evident now. The respondent miserably failed to perform according to the specific mentions of the contract. The respondent are arguing that the independent tests of the specimen of the coltons delivered to the claimant was false, but blindfolded and mute to the possibility that instead of 3 independent lab researches being false, their own lab experiment either might be totally false as the research was not independent, rather biased, or the sample test of the experiment was not colton delivered to us, and we got the different coltons which they have tested. Furthermore, it was stated that they did not receive any communication from us, and after the delivery of the first consignment, they did not receive any mail from us. But in para 22 of the bundle, it was mentioned clearly that we had sent an email via International Minerals, who happens to be our parent company. Mr. Rain, in his examination,
email on dated. Which date?
Sir, 1st December 2015.
Okay.
Mr. Rain was told to reply about the poor product quality from the claimant, but he did not reply anything about the quality. Rather, Mr. Rain sent us the second notice of transport. Mr. Rain is feeling ashamed to utter the name of the test center, that is Western Limited Advanced Mineralogy Technology, and trying to rephrase the name as only Advanced Mineralogy Technology. Mr. Thomas, in his cross-examination, he's denying that he's received the whole metric ton of 50 metric tons of coltan, as he mentioned in Appendix J, that he received the whole 50 metric tons of coltans as a sample. He's saying that a series of tests has been conducted, but he does not know that worldwide the best and reliable test for the coltans testing is XRF, that is X-ray fluorescence spectrometers. Honorable Chair, now I would like to start with our main 2 issues, and firstly, the breach of the deadline. CEO of Rare Limited, Mr. Sharp, has been a witness in today's proceedings, so as the CEO of International Minerals, Mr. Rain. Both have stated that from the negotiation period, the respondent have presented themselves in a way that they are ready to sell the goods, knowing that our claimants needed the 100 metric tons of coltans. And even in the witness statement of Mr. Wayne, he has stated that he knew that the immediate need of the product for Rare Limited. However, he has been now repeatedly denying as such. This tribunal needs to understand that when Rare Limited has already in an oral agreement, they cannot enter into another contract which will make them wait for 60 more days. However, Rare Limited failed to provide us any great However, the Western Limited failed to provide us the required geld of coltan for whom our subscribed clients were waiting for. And when Western Limited have the particular coltans in their store, only then Rare Limited can enter into their contract, and they can tell whether the contract is of complying the minimum quality or not. A notice of transport simply means that the seller party is ready to sell. Even if Western would have sent the notice of transport immediately after the signing, they would have at least 30 to 44 days to perform the delivery. Then why Western Limited took 37 days from 15 September 2015 to 23rd October 2015 just to send a notice of transport? However, this unacceptable delay by the respondent which committed the second notice of transport in 2nd December made the breach of the contract of the Article 2. The second main issue of this dispute is the quality of the products not conforming the minimum standard according to the contract, even after being specifically mentioned. We have already presented the proof that Alpha Limited and Delta Limited had terminated their contract with their claimant because of the poor quality of coltan. We have already presented 2 independent test reports and the person responsible for the 3rd test coming to this tribunal. On the other hand, the witness statement of Mr. Thomas Sain, who conducted the lab test for the Western Limited, has showed a lack of consistency in his statement and showed an institutional bias towards the respondent party. In Appendix X, Mr. Sain mentions that the 50 metric tons of coltans as a sample, which is not a regular practice. Besides, Mr. Sain in his statement provided that details of the contract such as the contracted amounts, parties, and the minimum requirement. However, if you look at the general practice of an expert, the job of an expert is not to tell that whether the specimen is complying with any particular contract. His the job of an expert is to tell whether the specimen what the specimen holds, not whether that complies with any other agreement or not. Mr. Sain has introduced himself that he is the chief laboratory analyst of a Western Limited Advanced Mineralogy Facility and has long working history of this company. Hereby, this tribunal cannot set aside the possibility that Mr. Sain is working in favor of the respondent. Moving forward, neither Mr. Wen nor Mr. Sain can issue this tribunal that the same 50 metric tons of which was tested by Mr. Sain was delivered to the claimant exactly. Respondents submitted their storage record for the month of September and October 2015, where they had conducted 9 projects, extracted 470 metric tons of coltan from the mine, but sold only 166 metric tons of coltans. And as Western Limited has minimum 304 metric tons of coltans unsold in their reserve, only extracted in those 2 months, they cannot assure us that they send us any another contract which was not of our minimum requirement. Respondents repeatedly stressing that Rare Limited is trying to avoid the contract, but if that's the case, if Western Limited was confident enough to stand with their supplied product, then they should have sent a representative to Ecuador, or at least ask for a sample, but would not reluctantly ignore the lack of conformity notice. They sent us a reply, but they did not reply us anything why the poor quality of coltan is sent to us. They need to understand that if they could prove the product is above the minimum requirement, even the claimants would have been happier that the claimants was to be supplied to the 2 biggest companies of Ecuador, but they could not disprove our facts of finding of 3 independent contests, rather chose to discard the lack of conformity notice. When claimant asked for an example, they hurriedly on the very next day, for the first notice of transport, they took 37 days, but when we asked them to refrain from sending any other notice, the very next day they sent another notice of transport, which reasonably cannot be taken as a proper reply. 2 test reports were presented to this tribunal, and because of the signing of the process was not finished, and because the signing process of the 3rd test was not finished, the formal report could not be submitted on time. But with your permission, it has been already submitted. That our expert witness says test report has already been submitted in this tribunal. But they are simply ignoring that our 3 test conductors do not have any connection or any knowledge about the actual contract, unlike respondent, where it seemed that expert witness of the respondents can do anything to say that the specimen is is inside the minimum boundary, acceptable boundary. Our reports do not have any section named acceptable percentage like them, because in standard practice, we know and believe that the margin of acceptance varies from contract to contract. We ask for 30 to 40%. Another party can ask for 10 to 20%. It is depending on the contract and for which purpose that coltan will be used for. Respondent expert mentioning about the acceptable margin comprises the weight of the evidence to be believed. Respondents in their copy of the statement of defense use the word malafide for exact 15 times. Honorable Chair, let us now.
What do you say about timings of your report?
Sir, on 27th November 2015 at 12 a.m., a ship entered into the Ecuador. At 1 p.m., when Alpha and Delta was assured that we can supply them and we have the goods in them, they came to us and they entered into the contract at 27 November 2015. At 6 a.m., they collected the specimen and sent to their test centers, which is situated in Arizona and Pennsylvania.
Okay, done. You have last 1 minute for complete.
Sorry, sir.
You have last 1 minute to complete your arguments.
Honorable Chair, sorry to interrupt. The respondent team has taken 3 minutes to clarify. So we would like to take those.
But I also gave you 3 minutes to redirect your witnesses. But you said you have nothing to clarify at that time.
Sir, we wanted that 3 minutes in our closing statement so that we can clarify.
I'm giving you 1 minute.
Much obliged, sir. Respondents raising the issue of Vietnam coltan mine discovery on 16th November 2015 and claiming that we want to terminate the contract with Western Limited to buy from a cheaper seller. But today's tribunal should understand that worldwide coltan mines contain a percentage of 8 to 25% of tantalum pentoxide, thus making the subject matter of this contract, which is 30 to 40% of tantalum pentoxide, is comparatively rare. Therefore, even after the mine is already discovered in 6 November 2015, on 27th November 2015, Alpha and Delta agreed to pay us 47 USD per kg, which is 17 USD more than the market price, only because the Rail Limited had to supply them the coltan containing 30 to 40% of tantalum pentoxide.
All right.
Sir, may I finish?
Just half a minute more. Last half.
Sir. Lastly, our prayer to the arbitration tribunal is to grant us the damages in favor of us, depending on the loss of profit we should have achieved from this contract with Alpha and Delta, our conveyance cost with Alpha Limited, our conveyance cost with Delta Limited, loss of our future potential contracts, and loss of our reputation of Rail Limited. Finally,
I have your claim. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. I invite the respondent team to have their arguments and submissions.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Could you please clarify the amount of time I would have for the argument?
You have 11 minutes. I have given 1 minute more to them. You'd also have 1 minute.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'd like to begin with the first allegation that has been raised against us, which is the breach of contract. The claimants claim that we breached the contract on 2 grounds. The first is that we did not match the quality that they wanted, and number 2, we didn't send the notice of transports in the time and date they wanted. In their written submissions, the claimants claim that they had to ensure that they are in conformity with contracts signed with Alpha and Delta, which are their clients. But now, during the submissions and during the closing statement as well, they claim that they had not signed a contract till then with both of them, until unless our first shipment reached their port and they had received it, which clearly shows that they are either working with a malified intention or do not know when they exactly signed a contract and when was all of this happening. The second claim about quality, the major claim that is raised against us is to have a lab where we are testing, and they say that this is a lab that might have a bias. I need to clarify here to the Honorable Tribunal that the lab should not and must not have bias, because we are an international trader of the mineral. By meaning of international trader, we do trade with other people as well. And in case this lab has a bias, we will lose a lot of customers. So we need to make sure that every time we conduct a test, we have to provide the quality that is supposed to be provided to the claimant. Moreover, about the nature of the contract and how the quality was written about the report, I need to clarify to the arbitration tribunal that the report actually mentions that it was in conformity with the contract. Like the claimant said, we do tell our chief analyst and our quality assurance about each contractual requirement, because we do understand that each customer has a different requirement. So we give them the exact the requirement, we give them the exact percentage that they have to make sure that the sample has to be in. And if the sample is not in that percentage, they write according to every specific contract. So our each analysis is subjective in nature to the contract. So meaning our lab, because of international practice, has to make sure that every time its reports are authentic. And number two, because the issue about the notice of transport, the major claim is that they had to be in conformity with other contracts, which they could not have been even if we had provided both the notice of transports by 15 November, and also they were not in any such contract. They signed the first contract on the 27th November with their clients. Moreover, we, according to the doctrinal approach, we read the contract all in all. We have expressly stated here, and our witnesses have expressly stated here, that they had an implied intention to ensure that they have enough time to prepare Colton. I need to mention to the Honorable Tribunal here that if the respondents had the Colton that was available, the claimants wanted it in urgent time. So what could have been done was that they could have tested the Colton that day, and they could have taken 100 metric tons of Colton the very next day or 2 days after, so they could confirm with the contracts they're claiming to have. And that would have been a perfect deal. But that does not happen because we didn't have the Colton that was supposed to be provided. So we asked time from them, and Mr. William actually, in his statement, clarified that he asked for time, which was that the first notice of transport would be sent on 15th November. Moreover, before 15th November. And moreover, we read the contract in conformity, we read the contract as whole. So Article 2 and 4 of the contract, according to the claimant's reading, would not conform with each other. Article 4 explicitly says that we need to have a certain time limit after we have sent the first installment to make sure that we issue the second notice and the second installment. The claimants claim that we sent the second notice of transport earlier than we had sent the first notice of transport, which shows that there's something wrong there. We need to clarify to the Honorable Tribunal here that while we are extracting Colton, we extract Colton according to our requirements. So when we got a contract, we need to know at that point that we need to expand the extraction process and make sure that more Colton is extracted. So we upgrade our facilities, we upgrade our extraction process when we had the contract. And then that is the basic reason why the second notice of transport reached them before the time limit of the first, in an earlier time than the first notice of transport. I'd also like to clarify here that all the evidence raised with regards to the quality of Colton was either produced by a second party or it was not given to us. Alpha and Delta are not privy to the contract. Their lab reports do not hold obligation or binding obligation to us at all. Their lab reports are not something that we should be falling a prey to. What lab report was required by us was the lab report done by the claimant, which did not ever reach to us. The claimant did not provide such a crucial evidence to us, which they were claiming to be the fundamental breach of the contract. They should have at least emailed us a copy of this lab report so that we could have known that we have breached the contract, which did not happen. On the contrary.
Then which lab report you rely upon to claim that your product was up to the mark?
Honorable Arbitrator, this is the lab report that we produce as a routine practice in our labs. We do this for every international trade that we make, and we assert here that our lab report is better to rely on because it is our international practice. And if we don't conform, and if our lab is not up to the mark, we would be falling in a breach of contract and other contract, which has not happened even with international minerals. International minerals has at least been trading with us for 10 years. And on our review,
I acknowledge that you have reports from this lab only for all international supplies, etc. But can you say this lab report as an impartial? I mean,
yes, Honorable Arbitrator, we have to say this impartial because this lab works as an autonomous body. It is not, influenced by the general manager or the general sales manager. This lab report, because our objective is to meet contracts. We are not looking forward to breach contracts because we need to trade in the general market. So our objective is to make sure that we conform with the contracts. And for that reason, our lab reports have to be up to the mark. And this lab report was also up to the mark. We also here claim that the malified intention of the claimant is proven by the fact that they did not send any lab report to us that they had conducted. They just sent us third-party lab reports conducted by Alpha and Delta and requested by Alpha and Delta, which were not even party to the contract, and our client did not even know about the details of this contract of Rare Ltd with Alpha and Delta. Moving on to the malified intention of the claimant, we need to clarify here that the Vietnam discoveries were done by a mining facility working in Vietnam. And they have also published a feasibility report, which we have attached with our written submissions. Here, as the claimants claim that they were not sure if the mines in Vietnam were of the appropriate quality, we need to clarify here that as a general international practice, no coltan mine is of appropriate quality. What coltan brokers or coltan traders do is that they increase the concentration of coltan to make sure that it's conforming with different contracts. And because this feasibility report was published by another broker, another trader in the same mineral, then they would also be, what they would be doing is they would be ensuring that the coltan is up to the concentration, then tested, and then be sent to the client. So this is a general practice of trading coltan. Hence, we feel that they were trying to ensure that they benefit from this new discovery of Vietnam and make sure that they have a more profitable deal, which is why they went into the breach of contract. Their timing seemed to be very vague. They say that the ship reached them at 12 a.m. They signed a contract at 2 a.m. And then at 6 a.m. they sent it for testing, and then within a day they got the tested. This is not even possible because the test for coltan, because coltan as written and as a proven fact is a very difficult mineral to test on. It's not soluble in water, it's not soluble in acids. So there's a very complex process to test it. So it will be taking at least 8 hours. The labs that they have tested in are in the US, and Ecuador and US have an air flight travel distance of nearly 8 to 9 hours. So it's not possible. It's not possible for them to, get the results back in the time and also tell us that we are in breach of contract. Lastly, Honorable Tribunal, I'd like to bring your attention to Article 49.2 of the CISG, which says that if the claimant believes that some respondent, some seller of a mineral has not, confirm with the contract, what they need to do is, according to that convention, is to send them an email and request them for mitigation of damages to ensure that all the damages are refreshed, which they did not do. They did not even wait. On the 1st December, they first sent us a non-conformity email, which we replied with a lab report stating that we were in conformity. And then they just declared the contract void, which was not, allowed to them under the convention. And lastly, they say that we did not confirm with the contract with regards to sending notice of transport. Why did they not declare the contract void when we, when according to them we were in breach of contract by not sending both the notice of transport by the 15th of November? Why did they wait for our material to reach to them? And when it reached to them, then they immediately then the Vietnam discovery happened, and then they declared it. With that, I think that's all from our side. We'd want to seek some relief that are also written in our reply to request for arbitration. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Sir, may I raise any objection regarding the closing statement of the respondents?
No, there is no time to raise objections, etc. You have enough time
sir,
for your.
May I have only 1 minute, sir, please?
Oh, okay, only 1 minute. Then I'll have to grant 1 minute to them also for your.
Sir, it's your way. It's up to you, sir. Sir, they have been saying. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Much obliged, sir. They're stating that test reports cannot be performed in 1 day. They have just stated that. Their second report is the sample submitted in 29th November 2015, and they got the report on 1st December 2015. So I don't know the meaning of this contract. Rare Limited is now suffering that their prospective clients are stopping the negotiation with them. So we have nothing to do, or we have no profit after terminating the contract with Western Limited. They're saying that the Alpha Limited's contract and Alpha Limited and Delta Limited's contract established on 27th November 2015 cannot be performed until 25th December 2015. But sir, you have to understand, this tribunal has to understand that when there has been time kept that the highest minimum time for every task, but when we know and that there is a non-negotiable date that we have to deliver the product to Alpha and Delta before 25th December 2015, then we will not delay, will not make any delay from our side. And if we have the calculation,
If the other party wants a minute to.
Sir, okay, sir. Let me give you one example, sir. Let me give you one example.
No, please,
I have
no,
to.
please, no, please. No, I can't give. Other
Honorable
party,
Thank you, sir. Much obliged.
Honorable Tuminal, to this objection, I'd like to reply that we do not say that the test cannot be performed in one day. We say the test can be performed in one day, but they need to make sure that the travel time is 8 hours for their sample to reach to the US. The time for the test is 8 hours, which is 16 hours. Then there's supposed to be a report that's published. Then the report has to come back. All of this cannot happen in one day. And for 3 different reports, this cannot happen. And this cannot be relied upon if the report hasn't reached the respondents. This report is presented in the tribunal today. It wasn't sent to us the day the breach of contract according to them occurred. Why did they not do it? Because they did not have a substantive report in their hands. They just emailed us on, according to them, some verbal communication, which we as sellers of the good did not have to rely on. We were supposed to have something substantive in our hand, which they did not provide to us, which is our biggest objection and which contributes to the malified intention of the claimant. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now it's it has been completed. Now the contest this. I hand over this. I now pass over the forum to the host because I'll give my feedback and result together. All right. For the presentation of the video on BIAC, you can present a video on BIAC. I am preparing my results and I give my feedback and result together. All right.
Sir.
Great.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now we will watch a video on introducing BIAC. Dear all, we need few more minutes to announce our result. We can take a short break for 5 minutes. Please do not sign out from the session, but you can keep the video and audio turn off.
Yes. Everybody is listening to me.
Yeah.
Everybody is there.
Thank you. Carry on.
First of all, I want to thumbs up for both the teams. You know, I'm so fortunate. I feel so happy. I feel so happy to be in this contest organized by BEAC. But before that, I want to express some personal sentiments. When I was asked by Mr. Azad to be an arbitrator in this contest of BEAC, with BEAC I have some attachment before also, because I have been in their seminars and conferences, and I have been constant touch with some of the people, including Mr. Azad. He's very dear to me, my dear friend Azad, Mr. Azad. When he asked me to be an arbitrator, that very shortly a contest is going to be held on this and this date, and the contest is between Bangladesh and Pakistan. So, you know, I thought it's just, you know, it's just in a family that a contest is happening. You all know that we all are alike. We all were alike 100 years ago, but only the borders, the languages, they have separated us. Otherwise, we all are alike. And it was a contest between a family, and I really admire the capability, the potential, the quality, the brilliance of all the contestants. I'm so happy to be in this contest. In this 20 years of arbitration experience, I have never judged such a brilliant contest, such a brilliant international contest of arbitration. And let me give a very big hand for this. See, and it was a neck-to-neck competition, very clear language and clarity of thoughts, clarity of facts. And I again say it was very difficult for me to judge this contest. But as you know, if there is a cricket game, there is a football game, now there is an arbitration contest. If there is a contest, one has to be a winner. And you know, the difference between the winning two teams, the winning and the not winning team, I will not say losing team, because please don't get disheartened. Anybody who has the team who has not won this contest, the difference is only two marks. When I total the marks after giving marks, it was very difficult for me to give what marks should I give. Do you understand Hindi?
Thoda.
Yes, sir.
We do. We can follow a bit.
Yes, sir.
मुझे बहुत दिक्कत हो रही थी हिंदी में, इसलिए बताना चाहता हूं कि मैं आप लोगों से बाय हार्ट अटैच्ड फील करता हूं। सैयद ने
স্যার আমরা আপনাকে অনেক ভালোবাসি।
मुझे बांग्ला आती नहीं है, नहीं तो मैं बांग्ला भी बोल देता।
हमारे इस कंपटीशन के पार्ट हुए। It was a pleasure to have you here.
हम भी सर आपसे उतनी मोहब्बत करते हैं। सर मैंने कहा हम भी आपसे उतनी मोहब्बत करते हैं जितनी आप।
थैंक यू सो मच। मैं आपको बताता हूँ, मिस्टर थॉमस पूरी कॉन्टेस्ट में हंस रहे थे बाहर। He was smiling throughout. कभी इसको यहाँ देखकर he was smiling. I mean, he was very light-hearted. और देखिए क्लेमेंट्स काउंसिल from the side of this, I mean, I'm not forgetting her name. The woman who has more specs. Can you please name your name? All right. And Miss Nusrat Jahan. And Ishtiaq was brilliant. Brilliant. I mean, Madam Cruz, Fatima was time and again stepping in, intervening between. And Syed, you conducted the cross-examination very well. Very well. And
Thank you,
the
sir. Thank you.
party, Mr. Istiaq, you conducted the cross-examination. So therefore, it was very difficult, you know, how to judge the cross-examination point, how to give more marks to, you know, I mean, difference. How can be there be difference of marks between the two parties? But somehow I could manage. I had to, and the summation of the arguments was very well, very well. Summation of arguments by Mr. Tehseen from the side of Bangladesh, and from the side of Pakistan, Mr. Syed. Mr. Laiba also stepped in between. In the starting, I think she started, gave the opening statement, and the witnesses. I mean, the witnesses. The way they conducted themselves, it was brilliant. I mean, they were very well conversant with their facts, and they performed to their excellence. I must say, Mr. Abdul Rahman, Mr. Thomas, Miss Sabha, respondent counsel. She performed very well. She performed. Miss Noor Tehseen, I think she was a witness. Miss Noor
Yes,
Tehseen.
sir, she was, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm very
I was
pleased. I'm very pleased. Nusrat Zahman, Noor Tehram. They were Mr. Ben, William, Theo Rain. All. I'm very pleased to be all with you. Be with you all. Don't get disheartened. The team which has got less marks, only 2 marks less. Only 2 marks less. But you are all brilliant. Neck to neck competition. I found Bangladesh has secured. I mean, Bangladesh has won this contest. I congratulate Bangladesh. I congratulate.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
And
Please don't
also congratulations to the opponent party. They were very good.
And thank you so much,
Don't take
Pakistan,
it on
for
your
participating.
caliber. Don't take it on your competence. Very well. You're all are competent. You're all are competent.
Thank
Great
you so
effort.
much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Great efforts. I am.
Thank you,
Please
sir.
don't
Thank you.
on any. Don't take me wrong. If I mean, the team who has got less marks, I'm all appreciation for them also. Congratulations, Bangladesh.
We would have present same as the respondent team if
I'm
we
so lucky
were
to be
that
with you
far.
all. I'm so lucky to be with you all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much,
A big
sir.
thanks to
Thank you,
Pakistan to participate in this competition, sir. Big thanks to Pakistan, sir.
If you want to say
And
something,
also it was our pleasure to be the opposition team and competing with such a renowned University of Pakistan. So thank you so much.
Mr.
Sir,
Syed,
why not-
I
sir.
want you to say something kindly.
No, sir, I actually appreciate the efforts of the Bangladesh side, and they were very comprehensive and very competent in their arguments, and I really acknowledge their efforts. It was a fun throughout, you know.
No, not less well. You conducted, I mean, I was enthralled by your cross-examination.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that.
proud
I
of
think
you.
that it was very, you know, nice to be in this competition, and we had a very good experience. So congratulations to the winning team.
Such is the format of this. So I had to mark it. And both the teams did great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
My email address, I'm writing on my the chat box. I will be highly pleased if anybody if you contact me, if you keep in contact with me.
Obviously, sir. Please, sir.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Congratulations to the team of Bhuya Academy Bangladesh, and thank you to the team of Lahore University of Management and Sciences Pakistan. You guys did a very good job. Better luck next time. I would like to request all participants and chairman of the session to turn on their videos for capturing a photograph.
I would like to request the host to let me turn on my camera. They have stopped. my
In
video.
Pakistan, one more thing. In Pakistan, I know Miss Sara Tarar. She is a mediator, I think. In Lahore, she is there. I had been with her in a competition organized by some organization in London.
So we do not
Sara
know
Tarar.
of her. We don't know of her, sir.
All right, come on, let's prepare for the group photograph. Finally.
Thank you all. I would like to conclude the session by thanking the chairman of today's session and team members of the Bhuia Academy and Lahore University of Management and Sciences, along with their faculty members who worked hard to train up and prepare their students for this contest. Before concluding, I would like to invite you all to our third session of preliminary round, which is to be held on 8 November today at 3 p.m. BST between Chittagong University, Bangladesh and Independent University, Bangladesh. Thank you all for joining us online. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Thank you so much for the work. We are grateful.